campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work, trucks, and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com. Driving business forward.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded one new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Augusta National's 11th, 12th, and 13th holes are called Amen Corner, attributed as writer Herbert Warren Wind christened it such in describing the way Arnold Palmer had played those holes in a somewhat miraculous manner. Heavy rains in 1958 prompted a local rule allowing a lift and drop for an embedded ball. When Palmer hit his ball over the 12th green and the ball embedded, the official and Palmer agreed that the ball should be played as it lay, but that Palmer could play a second ball, which he dropped. He holed out for a 5 with the first ball and a 3 with the second. When he was playing 15, he was told his drop at 12 was proper, leading to his first Masters victory. Wynn's inspiration for Amen Corner came from a jazz record titled Shouting in Amen Corner. The center of the Bible manufacturing in the 1900s was in Lower New York City, which became a popular spot for sidewalk preachers to preach old-time religion. The many amen shouts heard each day led to the term Amen Corner. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the Drive, baby!
The Drive Guys, Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles. It's drive time with the Drive Guys.
Yeah, you're not going to like this. According to Shams, a couple of minutes ago, the NBA is looking into what multiple sources say was a strategy mistake by Kings coach Doug Christie on an intentional foul of Seth Curry while leading the Warriors with over 3 minutes left in Tuesday's game. Shams reporting the NBA is looking into these reports that the Kings were guilty of, I saw somebody said it was maybe the most blatant example of tanking we've ever seen. Alan, how stupid are these people that are saying that?
Well, I'm also confused now because Shams is saying that multiple sources, and I would assume that's what the Kings are putting out, are saying it was a strategy mistake.
Yeah.
But you had others like Worldwide Wob saying that it wasn't necessarily a strategy mistake. He was trying to use that timeout before that timeout went away.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm a little confused as to what side of the road it's actually on. Was he trying to use that timeout before it quote unquote went away? Or what was the mistake, I guess?
Well, the mistake was that you foul there and you give up 1, maybe 2 points.
But that's not a that's
a mistake.
No, but that's not a mistake.
Yes, it is.
That was their approach that ended up being I guess, not the right approach.
Right. Well, whether he meant to do that or not, and it appears he did, that's a mistake.
But do you see what I'm saying?
I know. Yeah, I do.
But if you have Shohei Ohtani up to bat and there's a man on second, right, and there's no outs, and you bunt Shohei Ohtani, you bunt him, and then you don't end up scoring, was that a mistake or was that just something that didn't end up working?
The difference is you could debate that, right?
Right.
And you'd probably say, most people say, well, you shouldn't have done that, but you could debate it.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you foul here and you send the other team to the line and you give up a point, again, possibly 2 in a close game, that's dubious. That's probably a mistake. That's probably an error, even if he intended to do it. But the league is responding to the fact that, I mean, that thing, as we all know, went viral. This notion that last night the foul with 3:15 to go was a blatant example of tanking, because Draymond Green said after the game, as you know, Draymond Green saying, I saw a team foul Seth Curry with 3 minutes to go in a game for no reason in the penalty. But we're going to make the postseason so it works, I guess. He was responding to a question about, does the play-in work? And Draymond, as you could see at the time, he was saying, that's a take foul. And the official clearly was telling him, that's not a take foul. But it was not an example of blatant tanking. And I understand why so many Kings fans are frustrated. I would think the organization is frustrated, because what the Kings have been doing here down the stretch is nothing compared to what some of the other organizations that are tanking are doing. Me personally, I don't blame the other organizations for tanking. That's how you play this game. But for the Kings to be singled out on the internet when they didn't do what all these other teams are doing, it's just an example of how people look at the Kings like, oh, they're stupid. Just that low-hanging fruit. Some of that is a reputation. This is totally undeserved.
Yeah, a worldwide Rob Perez said Christie wanted to stop play so he could call his use it or lose it timeout before time dropped.
And because the 5 guys he had on the floor at the time had been playing a lot and they'd been playing well, and I think he wanted to get them some rest, and they played down the stretch there. And they'd been playing well, which if he wanted to tank, he'd remove the guys that were playing well.
Right. And then the second one, Cardwell fouling Seth during a live rebound and the Warriors being in the bonus, saying that wasn't an intentional foul. Cardwell fouled Seth.
Right.
And that's what's so crazy, guys. We can't even go to one Frank Caliendo show without something popping off. We can't take one night, team building, and Chris Verlade too. He's on the larger team. And I get in the car.
I don't know that Dave was too happy, by the way, that Verlade was out with us.
Dave?
Yeah.
Well, Dave wasn't even here for Frank Caliendo being in the studio.
I know.
So, look, man, Dave can go somewhere, all right? But this whole thing, Whitey, this has to do with one thing and one thing only. And the Warriors have been on the wrong side of politicking before, with LeBron James back in 2016 when, LeBron had a lot to say in the presser. And now they find themselves not even necessarily on the right side of politicking, because it doesn't affect them in any way. It's not going to bring Jimmy Butler back. It's not going to put them in a better position than they're in right now. But this is Draymond Green. This is the power of Draymond Green. Draymond Green, hate him or love him, 8-town stomp on Domantas Sabonis. Draymond Green is probably, I don't want to go brands here, Whitey, but he's probably top 3 most polarizing players in the NBA. And when he speaks,
that actually was part of Frank's show last night.
Yeah. And when he speaks, people listen. So he goes on his soliloquy about tanking, and the league has no choice because people like Draymond have the league by the you-know-what. Because when he talks, it goes viral. This is the same thing that we saw. Adam Silver hasn't changed a bit. He hasn't changed at all from when Dieter Kurtenbach came on this show and laid into him. He hasn't changed at all. The fines happened the first go-round when everybody was talking about the Jazz taking out their players. Then Adam Silver said, okay, well, I guess we'll fine them, right? Last night, if Draymond didn't get up there and talk about his thought process that they fouled Seth to try now, but if Doug Christie, if they were going to intentionally try to lose, they're not going to do it against the Warriors. Is that fair?
Well, they would do it against everybody.
They would have been doing it, period.
Yeah.
But deciding today is the day with more eyeballs on us because it's Warriors Kings.
We're just gonna foul somebody.
Now we're gonna blatantly do that.
Yeah.
You know, and Draymond, this is what happens now, Whitey. He says this piece, they get investigated. Now he'll go on his Draymond Green podcast and say, okay, yeah, after, I talked to some people after I looked at it, seems like this is what the Kings were trying to do. You could disagree with it, but it makes more sense. But that's not going to get the headlines.
Look at the things that the Nets did at the end of games. One of those things happened at the end of a Warriors game. Mm-hmm. And it got a little bit of run, but nobody tanked, and they're enjoying the dividends now. So did OKC. They're the champions. So I don't blame a team for tanking. I know the league has to sort it out, and it's for fans that are paying money, it's difficult, but I understand it. But for a team like the Warriors, in this case specifically Draymond Green, to say, oh, this tanking is terrible, shut your mouth. Mm-hmm. Take you back to 2012. This was a shortened season that behooved them to get a higher pick or they would lose the pick. So here's the thing, Alan. Wednesday, March 14th, 2012, the Warriors were 18-22. They realized, wow, if we keep winning games, we might lose that first-round pick. Mm-hmm. So they finished the season. They were 18-22. They finished the season 23-43. So there's a lot of losses in there to get from 18-22 to 23-43. As a result, they got the 7th pick, which they used on Harrison Barnes.
Right.
They tanked. They got Harrison Barnes. It worked. Mm-hmm. You go back to the year after Kevin Durant left, and Clay was hurt, and Steph got hurt early in the year, and the Warriors were 15-50. They had guys on the floor like Smilagic, Kai Bowman, Eric Paschal, a second-team all-rookie. They had Willie Cauley-Stein. They were horrible. I know because I covered that team. I did pre- and post-game on the radio, and it was tough. Guy from the Warriors would come up, hey, this literally happened. The great Raymond Ritter, who's nationally known. It's like, hey, you guys getting a lot of calls tonight? Raymond, no one's calling about this team.
Sky Bowman.
You know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that team, and then they ended up with the 2nd pick, in which they turned into Wiseman, but clearly they tanked. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but I'm saying if you're on that team, you cannot call out other teams for tanking, especially when that was not what the Kings were doing last night.
Because this is not about Draymond the player. This is Draymond the media mogul. This is who he is. And I'm still seeing it. It's refreshing. I keep refreshing X, and it's still popping up. Everybody thinks the Kings. I mean, how stupid do you think the Kings could be to do that in that way?
People think the Kings are very stupid. They do. But we had from Adam Gray, I'm not sure who that is. If the NBA doesn't fine the Kings $500,000 for this, the most egregious tanking ever, then can the NBA please send the Jazz their $500,000 back, please? Dan Patrick is no dummy, Alan. Dan Patrick today on his show, he said, I hope the commissioner is looking at that game because it looked like Sacramento was tanking right in front of us.
Well, I saw your boy Bill Simmons said the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Go investigate it.
Number boy.
Yeah.
Nothing against him, but especially today, number boy.
No. And you know what? I got to say something, Whitey. Because I wake up this morning, didn't really see too much last night, but I wake up this morning, I got love for my media in the Bay, okay, from being out there. But they are so stuck in an immediate purgatory right now with the Warriors being the 10 seed, and they can't even, get into the 9 seed. What does that matter? They're stuck in the 10 seed. They don't have Jimmy Butler, Al Horford. They don't have any of these guys. They're going to walk in or limp in to the play-in with Steph. They don't even necessarily want to win that game because they're not doing anything this season. And if they do lose, then they'll say, well, if we had Jimmy, if we were full strength, we could have done this. Well, you said the same thing last season with Steph. And I get on social media this morning, and every clip, look, we'll peel the curtain back a little bit. Radio stations, kind of evolving into content networks. We have our clips that we post. We clip them and then we post them and people interact with them. And that's just how it is these days. every clip from, our former station, Warriors flagship, talking about the tanking epidemic. Oh my goodness, why would you do this? I saw one and it said, and I get it. Look, they're not used to this, right? We've been here all year. So I saw one thing, why are teams still trying to tank when the Mavs got the first pick? Why would they do that? Well, I'll tell you why they'll do that. We say the same thing, and we had to explain it months ago. It's not about the ceiling, it's about the floor. Now, you don't understand that because you haven't been in the tank since, like you said, Whitey, you were getting Harrison Barnes. And by the way, it's not our fault that when you did try to pull off the Indiana Pacers gap year when Klay Thompson was injured, that you picked the wrong guy who's now in Atlanta. And you picked another wrong guy who is arguably, is he still in the league, James Wiseman? So you tried to mini tank during your gap years and you screwed it up.
Yep.
So now you're going to be on your high horse because you're some version of the Heat to where you're in the play-in and nobody's really that afraid of you.
And you're above all that.
And you're above all that now when you're not. You just screwed it up. So I don't need you. When I first moved out here, and I was still, this was when the Kings were playing the Warriors in the play-in and things like that. Whitey, I was banned every time I tweeted about the Warriors, I'd have 5 people commenting, you don't cover the Warriors anymore. Only talk about the Kings. Why are you talking about us? It could be a main story. Draymond got sent to, become a monk for like a year, whatever that was. Hey, Alan, you're not out here anymore. Don't cover it. So if I can't do that, then why the hell are you spending segment after segment after segment talking about the Kings and talking about tanking as if you've never done it? Stay in your lane. This is tank talk. This is not where you're at. So all of a sudden you're on your high horse. Oh my, this is an epidemic. It's been happening all season long. It didn't even affect you.
Right.
It didn't even affect you.
That's the other thing. This has been going on all year long. If you're acting now like, oh, my goodness. Well, you could tolerate to a point, but fouling for no reason there, that's the most egregious example of tanking I've ever seen. No, you idiot. That's not what it was at all.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
They've been wrong.
Yeah. Here in the on the text line. Nick Wright, Bill Simmons, Zach Lowe pretend to watch Kings games. If they did, they would not accuse them of tanking. It's just a lot easier to go, it's the Kings. Look at the Kings. Why would they do that? They're the Kings. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. That's not what happened. Now, it is true. That was, getting back to what we were just talking about a moment ago, kind of an iffy strategy.
Right.
But that's not really the point here.
Yeah.
Of this conversation.
Yeah.
Let's not overlook that either.
Yeah. And I understand what the texter is saying because, if they had watched, they would have saw if the Kings were tanking. We can just look at the losing streaks right now.
Exactly.
They just won a game.
Right.
And prior to that, they let DeMar, if they were tanking, why would they have let DeMar cook in Toronto?
Yeah.
Why would they have let them do that? The Kings right now, they've lost 2 straight. You want to get on Utah, who's lost 10 straight? Okay, cool. You want to get on Washington, who's lost 7 straight. They're 1-9 their last 10. Utah is 0-10 their last 10. Okay? And you have Brooklyn, who's won 2 in a row. Indiana, who's lost 3 in a row. And then, like I said, and Memphis has lost 5 in a row. They're 1-9. They're trying their darndest to get into the conversation. There's just not enough time left. So to me, it's the same issue that we deal with throughout the season. Now, I'm picking on, Warriors media because that's who it was this morning / last night. But you haven't been watching the Kings, right? We've posted, or national media's posted about DeMar. They've posted about Westbrook. So at what point did the King, this is crazy. We have on the TV, take 2, who's tanking? And it's Draymond Green from this stupid game last night.
Calling for the take foul, which clearly was not a take foul. Yeah. It just is another example of the terrifying power of social media where somebody sees something, misinterprets it, posts it, and then everyone just, without really examining it or thinking about it, that's terrible. That's the worst I've ever seen. Well, if you look at it and think about it, it's not what you think it is. Look at that. Well, I hope they do something about that. That's the worst example of tanking I've ever seen. It was not an example of tanking.
I think
was not.
Yeah. I think this is bad for the NBA because nobody, again, we've argued time and time again about how the regular season does not matter. This is the biggest story the NBA has right now. That's not good because it has nothing to do with basketball.
100%.
And now everybody is hopping on and I guess trying to make it, hey, at least they're talking about us. Yeah, I don't know. I know they say all publicity is good publicity. I don't know about that. Nobody is talking about the games. They're only talking about how bad this taking situation is. And we're talking about the same 4 teams: the Jazz, the Pacers, the Kings, and the Nets. That's it. That's it. And I look at baseball right now, Whitey, and there's a huge brawl between the Angels and the Braves, and they getting after it.
Yeah.
Not that soft stuff that happens on the basketball court where hold me back. Oh no, they're throwing bows. He's got a ball in his hand. Baseball, you're seeing clips of baseball being played. Fights happening. You're talking about the game. Basketball, we're talking about nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Nonsense. And now you have that part of the nonsense. Then you have actual injuries. Wembanyama with the rib injury. The Lakers are beat down. This is bad. Now, I saw something a couple days ago, Whitey, that said, is there an added layer? And we've talked about this before. Is there an added layer to why people are trying to build up Major League Baseball ahead of the NBA? Is there a, societal undertone? And we've talked about that with the NFL as well. Maybe. But still, from where I'm standing, we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about the same tanking stuff, and Draymond's hopping on it so he can hop on the Draymond Green podcast and you can hear the rest of his take. I won't be tuning in.
Yeah.
And
we're talking about all the things that get
yes.
in the way of the best basketball in the world and us watching it.
That's right.
And that's terrible for
That's
the league.
right. When we came to, it just seems like we are so far removed from the Olympics where it was, man, basketball felt like it was in a really good spot. Team USA won. Steph hit that crazy shot. You had that Netflix show came out. It just went so far left so quickly, and Adam Silver is a lot to blame. In my opinion, he's a lot to blame. Even the NHL, right? The NHL with Team USA winning. Now their playoffs. You got Macklin Celebrini doing his thing in San Jose. We're talking about the sport. All these other sports, we're talking about the sport. Basketball, there's always some drama. That's why there's that meme.
NBA basketball.
There's always that meme. The NBA has gone however many days without being unnecessarily dramatic.
Yeah.
Right? And it just, there's no stop to it.
Speaking of baseball, Alan, I know you mentioned baseball. This sometimes, I forgot how much I love baseball, but I watch it. Right now we got the A's and the Angels, the Braves and the Angels on. And sometimes I think, man, I should have kept playing.
Why are you doing this to me?
Huh? I just think, man,
you along with everybody else?
I'd probably be AA somewhere at least.
Probably. Easily.
Alan
Sitting
doesn't
on
like that when people say that stuff.
Baseball is so disrespected. Jay, I don't know if you come across this either, but baseball is so disrespected, and I think a lot of kids have stopped playing early, and there's a little bit of they were never told no, so it's easier to assume, well, if I never stop playing, man, I might be in the big leagues versus, on the other side, if there's a sport that you did play and somebody did tell you no, you don't feel like that. But it's the number one sport. When you talk to people, they will say, it'll just come up, man, I should have kept playing baseball.
It's also possible that given how much baseball you played, that maybe you're just more sensitive to it.
Probably.
If someone says something about football or basketball, you're just, yeah, whatever. But if someone says it about baseball.
But they don't say it about football or basketball.
People have said it about baseball. You get a little, what?
They don't say it about football and basketball.
Raising your hackles, but say what now? What? What'd you say?
You know what? If this whole thing, oh man, I should have kept playing. Well, why didn't you? Well, why didn't? If you were that far,
I was only kidding. I didn't mean it.
If you were that far ahead of everybody,
I didn't mean it.
Because it happened last night. That's what. Let's just tell it like it is. Someone said it last night. And we are next to Frank Caliendo, and I had to contain myself in front of Frank.
I didn't even realize that it happened.
It happened.
I didn't even notice it.
And then you said, oh, well, you're looking at 2 college baseball players right here.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, oh, I should have kept playing. To do what? To do what?
I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't even notice it happened.
Disrespectful to
Ivan
the league.
here in the chat. It's crazy because for the majority of the time the Kings have been in Sacramento, we have been bad. But now it's a problem. LOL. 11th North. And we're still waiting for the aspiration nonsense.
It's not going away.
Yeah. I'll be curious to see how the NBA handles this. If, in fact, as Shum says, they're looking into this. At the very least, they owe it to the Kings and fans to come out and say, yeah, that's not what everyone says it was. This just not they did not foul intentionally because they're trying to lose the game.
But you know what's so funny? Both sides of this is not great, right? No, Doug just didn't know what he was doing, right? Like
No, I know.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what I was
obviously, they're not going to say it like that.
No, you're right.
But to protect themselves.
That's what I was saying when we were talking about it. Yeah. That's why I was like, it was a mistake.
By the way, can we get on the phone with the Steph Curry, Keegan Murray couple?
You didn't like that?
Can we get on the phone with them and just ask what is wrong with you? Can we just ask them that? I just want to know whose idea. I just want to know whose idea was it? Because
is it a worse idea than my idea for Frank Caliendo?
No, but it's close. Because those jerseys were stitched. You know, there's some cheaper jerseys out there.
Realize, hey, Curry.
That's crazy.
Put them together, look what we got.
That is insane. I don't know who thought to do it, but those jerseys were legit.
It worked. They got on TV.
It's despicable.
That was crazy.
I know.
Because everybody
I just didn't understand the point of it.
Everybody,
that was the point.
You know why I brought that up? Somebody on the 925 on the text line says, as a longtime Warrior fan and King hopeful. So I don't know if they live in Sacramento now, but they said, I've had enough of Green. He just babbles, blah, blah, blah. But they said, Warrior fan, King hopeful.
What does that mean?
925, shout out.
Is that Ramsey?
No, will you leave Ramsey alone?
Well, I'm just asking. I don't understand.
That sounds like Ramsey. Ramsey, is that you?
He's a Bears fan, a Raiders hopeful, a Falcons hopeful, and, whatever else.
Something else in there.
Yeah.
We need to get them on the line because what the hell? You spend your hard-earned money on that. Where else are you wearing? You just wear it. They have to show up on Friday, right? You have 2 chances to wear that
Alan,
in your life.
It's all about the clicks and getting views and getting seen, and they were.
They didn't even know they were on camera.
That's true. They didn't seem to.
No, that's terrible. Because everyone used to get on Jim Cosmore for the half A's, half Giants hat.
Oh, I definitely did.
This is worse.
And he didn't invent those. Those have been around.
No.
But he was just one of those people that said, hey, these are great.
No, but that was worse. They're not even brothers. If Seth was on the Kings, maybe I could squint like Frank doing the Biden impersonation. Maybe I could squint like that and see it, but oh my goodness.
It didn't bother me as much because to me it was just like, yeah, that's dumb. I don't care. Good for you. You know, the split hats is like, pick a side. But they
need to pick a side.
I know, but to me it's just like, I feel like you're just trying to get my attention.
They have bad friends.
Nice job, but yeah, that's dumb.
They better get made fun of by their friends, or they have bad friends. That's how I'd say that. Ramsey on the text line. This is Ramsey. Definitely not me about that.
Okay, thanks, Ramsey.
Team from the Bay. All right.
Just curious.
All right. We got to double check.
Just curious. The
thank
Kings.
you.
Yes. Thank you. The Kings do still have a shot at a top 3 lottery spot. Really. And we'll tell you how they could still maybe get there. And Tankgate and the Kings' involvement in it continues. We're back with more on all that next. Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Gold demand is skyrocketing to record highs. As more Americans rush to preserve their savings, will there be enough gold? I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and I believe physical gold is the only way to truly protect your 401k or IRA savings. Gold offers tangible security that can't be tracked, stolen, or inflated. That's why I strongly advocate for gold IRAs. To learn more, text the word SECURE to 989898 now. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust, and their thousands of great reviews prove I'm not alone. So don't wait another second. Protect your retirement savings today and see how easy it is to move your IRA or 401k into physical precious metals. Text SECURE to the number 989898 for your free gold IRA info kit. Again, SECURE to 989898.
Message and data rates may apply.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com. Country in the Park is back. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert. John Party. Chris Young. Turnpike Troubadours. Dylan Scott and more. Line dancing live DJs, mechanical bulls, huge festival area, and food trucks. Tickets start at only $68. Country in the Park. May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo with N&S Tractor and Case Construction and Courtyard by Marriott Sacramento Cal Expo. More info at CITVFest.com.
Bring the entire family out to Sutter Health Park for Sacramento River Cats baseball. From exciting action on the field to smiles in the stands, it's the perfect place to make family memories. Plan your next family night out at the ballpark. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby, insight, and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
This is ludicrous. This is ridiculous. The NBA now examining what went down last night at the end of the Kings game. 3:15 to go. It's a 1-point game, right? When Nick Clifford appeared to foul Seth Curry. It looked like he was instructed to do so, and then the internet went crazy. Look at that! They're taking in front of all of us! That's not what they were doing. Come on. Many, many, many more blatant examples of tanking going on every single night in the NBA.
Well, it just turns into, a snitch fest, right? Because if I'm the Kings, I'm going to say, well, what about the Nets taking a shot against the Warriors, that half-court heave, or they passed it. They had multiple, the Nets did.
Yeah, they did a half-court against the Knicks, where they're inbounding with 1.5 seconds to go, never even threw the ball into the front court.
Right.
They lose. And then against the Warriors, it was they inbounded from the baseline and ended up throwing the ball from about 70 feet away just into the front court. It wasn't even a shot.
Yeah, I don't even know.
The Warriors were laughing. Horford and Steph were laughing at it.
Yeah, I can't remember if.
How does that not get?
Because Draymond didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Draymond played those games. Draymond didn't say anything, so it's not the same. It's not the same. Whitey, this one's for you from the 209. It's been a little while since I've watched the broadcast. Is the names on the court feature just advancement or due to the players being unknown?
It's just a horrible idea. I mean, I could see how they have scaled it back. So I get it. They're probably thinking, we got all it's. I assume they're related to NBC, right? NBC has the rights now. They're trying different stuff. I don't care for it. The thing that drives me nuts is when you have that, what is it in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen that shows where all the players are? I forget the stat something, Sprite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay. If you see the full court on the screen, which often you do, you can see where all the players are. That little thing, it serves no purpose whatsoever. It's just kind of a visual distraction, and there's no reason to have it. It is giving you nothing useful whatsoever. I'm not a fan of the names under the players, but I get it. All right. Okay, I see what you're trying to do. I'm not a fan. But that little thing with the dots in the corners, like, there is no reason to do that, Alan. None.
It's so funny because I don't even pay attention to that. I don't even look at that. I haven't even really noticed.
I need to work on that.
Right. But there's certain things that bug me that you say, Alan, what's the problem? Like, Alan, if somebody thinks they could go to the big leagues, just let them think that.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful.
Let us have our dreams, Alan.
No.
Let us have our big league dreams.
No. Because
Jay, does that bother you? And apparently it happened last night, I didn't notice. If somebody's talking about baseball and they go, if I kept playing, I'd be really good. You play it at a high level, you know how hard it is. Does it bother you?
Not me.
Yeah.
But I mean, Alan's Alan.
But Jay, it does happen.
People.
It does happen a lot, specifically with baseball, right? You see where I'm coming from? Does it happen to you?
I think it's just because Alan is sensitive to that because he's a baseball guy.
I don't hear people say, "Man, I wish I kept playing football."
Because you don't pay attention to it.
It doesn't happen.
I think baseball and basketball are probably the ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I hear it quite a bit. Like, man, I was pretty good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Doesn't bother me though, man.
Me neither. Oh my goodness.
If it bothers you, stand on it.
Alan wanted to go in on that today, and I told him, I don't think you should, Alan.
I'm not going to. Call in. Could you have been in the big leagues if you didn't quit at 11 years old?
What really bothers you about it? Because is it like downplaying how far you got?
Probably yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How hard it is.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's super hard.
Because I'll tell you this much. I told Whitey this before the show. I never played football, right? I never played tackle football. We'll go out, mess around, turkey bowl, right? Because I'm, pretty fast or whatever. And people say, man,
not
Alan,
a burner.
Not a burner. But
I've seen your scouting report.
Turkey bowl day, though.
Fast enough.
Football is different.
Yeah.
And
got that football speed.
Exactly. So then, I'll say, oh, man, if I wonder what if I would have played? Because nobody ever told me no. Mm-hmm. I never got torched for a 72-yard touchdown. It never happened to me. So I don't want to call them delusions of grandeur, but nobody's told me no. And I think if a lot of the people that quit whatever sport before somebody told them no, they never experienced getting cut.
How does somebody with the athletic chops that you obviously have and had not get any interest from the high school football program? I guess because it was where you went, it was just
No, there was interest.
I mean, there had to be.
Yeah. We just went in a different direction.
Yeah.
You and your my
people?
camp. Yeah, my camp.
Your circle? Worldwide West.
That's right.
So, that would offend some people that you said that. It doesn't offend me.
Why?
You talk about your camp.
My camp, my family.
We went another way.
We went no. But that's not me saying, okay, junior year, we lost state, right? We lost state to Centennial.
And which sport is this?
This is in football. Okay. This is in football. And if I said, hey, man, if I was out there, we would have got that bling bling junior year. That's how people talk about baseball, man. Mm-hmm. It's disrespectful to the sport.
I think they talk about all sports, though, especially on a high school / youth sports level. I think it affects you a little more because it's something that's close to you, and you actually were one of the top 5% in the world. You know what I mean?
You're probably right. I don't know.
Because I hear it a lot in hoop. Like, hoop is one of those, oh, man. Yeah.
I had game.
I had stupid game.
If I didn't blow my knee out sophomore year.
My camp, we decided to go another way.
Oregon State was here for me, but
my
camp, we went in a different direction.
Dude, I didn't know you was turned off by that.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Really?
I didn't either.
I can't stand it. I have a buddy who we went to Kenyatta together, and he could have went to not Southern. It might have been Southern, right?
Yep, HBCU.
But his dad, or his Grambling, excuse me. It was Grambling.
Same thing.
But his dad said, hey, no, you need to stay close because the scouts that have been watching you in NorCal, you know what I mean? They're not going to follow you all the way to Grambling down south. So he went to Sonoma State. Things didn't really work out there. He played for a year, didn't really play senior year. And to this day, he's like, man, I know you went D1, but I should have went D1. Then I would have got drafted. I'm like, well, I didn't tell you to go to Sonoma State.
And let me say this, no disrespect to that gentleman, but that was a terrible piece of advice.
I told him that.
That was a terrible piece of advice.
I told him that at the time.
Man, he hindered him more than helped him.
I know. I told him that at the time. I said, dude, you're tripping. That's tripping.
That's some of the worst advice you could get.
But now, in his mind, he would have hit 400 at Grambling.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand
Where's Ricky Weeks when you need him?
You got Jamal Weeks out there, too.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I can't stand those guys.
guys.
Now, why did you get between the Warriors, the media, and all this King stuff, and now you brought that up, Whitey?
Did I bring it up? Did you? I don't know how.
No, I sat down. I said, Whitey, you know what I want to talk about today?
You urged him to speak about that.
And then you told me not to do it, Whitey.
Well, my bad.
Yeah. And then I kind of just.
You wanted to.
I rolled it out there a little bit.
You know what? I'm keeping it chill.
Which way it would bounce.
I'm keeping it chill, man.
Yeah. You know what else is hard, Alan? It's going to be difficult for the Kings to move up in the draft lottery standings. But they have a shot. With 3 games to go, they've won 21 games. Brooklyn has 20 wins. They're currently in 3rd. You could actually still mathematically catch Indiana, but they would have to win the rest of their games, and you would have to lose the rest. But you're just 1 game behind Brooklyn here. So you're still motivated to not win these games, although right now it seems like it's more perilous than ever.
But you know
Even
what,
if the league goes, all right, that was nothing, but we're really going to be watching you over the last 3 games. Don't make us fine you just because of what Draymond said.
Pacers Nets tomorrow, by the way. Pacers Nets tomorrow. But you know what, Whitey, was funny about it? Do we see the return now that the Kings are under some fire? And look, I'm not acting like DeMar coming back means you're going to win the game, but do we see the return of any other Kings on Friday to try to cool it down a little bit?
That would mean that they would really be feeling, as you said, you'd have to cool it down because they'd be feeling some heat from the league. Yeah. That would be wrong. That would be infuriating.
I don't know. And it's so open-ended what Shams had to say. Yeah, when do we find out? Hey, the investigation's done or whatever. I got a story here. This is from Anthony Slater. This was 5 minutes ago. White.
Slate, okay.
Yeah.
Is this new? Because I know he wrote a story today at ESPN.com.
Well, he posted it 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
The Sacramento Kings deny their late foul of Seth Curry on Tuesday night was an intentional tank tactic. Can you imagine? Oh, yeah, we were trying to tank. Yeah, hey. Anthony Slater? Yeah. Tell the league we were trying to tank.
Yeah.
Team sources say it was just a simple strategic error in a game they nearly beat the Warriors. So that's what he had to say. Yeah, he posted that 5:21 p.m. Eastern. So he just posted about 20 minutes ago. Oh, my goodness.
In my opinion, the really unfortunate thing, and hopefully it won't matter, but now you call all this attention to what basically was a mistake that Coach Christie made.
Yeah, I see, and now it gets highlighted. I see this. The strategy was just a misstep, sources told ESPN, as Christie wanted to use a timeout before he automatically lost it when the clock ticked below 3 minutes. Sources said Christie miscalculated that the Warriors were in the bonus, and it would send Curry, an 86.4% career free throw shooter, to the line despite more appealing options on the floor to foul if opting to hack a player.
He only made 1, so it only cost him 1. But, in a close game, you don't send the other team to the line.
Yeah, and this is from Doug Christie. Tanking is the last thing I do, he said after a recent win over the Jazz. I respect the game too much. These young men, in my opinion, when you do things like that, it hurts them. There you go.
Yeah, we have more on that coming up today. We'll see what, if anything, the league decides to announce. Beyond that, maybe that's enough. Hopefully it is. Dave Sims is going to join us, radio voice of the... You're listening, Frankie? You're listening, Jay Ross, the voice of the Yankees. Joining us next on Sactown Sports.
Visit SactownSports.com and join the Sactown Sports 1140 newsletter.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets and be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
Tune in every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the Toyota Tahoe Report with Johnny Mosley and me, Elena, bringing you the latest weather conditions up at Tahoe. Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Switchfoot Live. Friday, April 24th, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. With Fuel and Lit. Thomas Ian Nicholas. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. One incredible night with Switchfoot, Fuel, and Lit together live.
Download the app and listen to The Drive Guys.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles.
On Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, tough one for the Athletics last night, Alan. That bullpen's still a little shaky.
Yeah, that's the one thing the A's and the Giants seem to have in common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That and the poor records. Poor starts to the season.
Giants are winning right now, 3-0.
I know.
Rafael Devers, ding-dong, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, the A's taking on the Yankees this evening. Nice enough to join us with more on that. The radio voice of the Yankees. I think he did some work at your school, Alan. I think Dave Sims did some work at Temple. Here he is, Dave Sims. How are you today, Dave? Oh, we're just still getting him on the air. Sorry. I saw that he was on the line there. I thought he was already on. So we'll talk to him in just a second here. But yeah, I believe he's done, I think he started his play-by-play stuff at Temple.
1990 to 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Temple Owls football. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The Big East.
Yeah. He joins us now, yes. Dave Sims, radio voice of the Yankees. Dave, how are you? Welcome to the Drive, guys. What's going on?
Hey, trying to stay cool, trying to stay warm here, actually. We got bright sunshine, blue sky, and a lot of wind. Not as much as yesterday, but we're going to get through it. But we keep the windows closed here and ready for some baseball.
Well, we appreciate your time, and we were just talking about the fact that Alan does a show this year. Alan played baseball at Temple, and isn't that kind of where your career started at Temple?
Yeah. I was recruited there to play football, and I remember going on my trip and I'm saying, I can't outrun Skip Singletary. I don't think I want to play D1 football. But fast forward, 15 years later, and Mr. Cosby was still in very good, held in high regard in that time. And he got me the Temple job, and I did that for 3 years, and it led to a whole bunch of things at ESPN, Westwood One, and anchoring in New York. So it was my big broadcast break after I was doing WNBC radio.
Dave, I wanted to ask you, I know we're a couple weeks removed now, and I'm not even sure where your role kind of fit here on, I just call it Netflix night or opening night with Netflix. What did you make of that night? I know the numbers came out and there was a young demo that seemed to watch. I don't know if they enjoyed it or not, but yeah, did you got to do your normal radio for the Yankees for that game? And what did you just make of all of it? Did it change how your schedule typically works? And yeah, what'd you make of how it all ended up?
I did my job, and I heard that they had a lot of problems. I hope we had a big number ratings-wise. I never did find that out, but yeah, there were big-time issues that we had nothing to do with, and we enjoyed calling the game. I mean, we'd see stuff crossing our phones and everything about that. There were all kinds of problems, and people thanking us. Hey, thanks for being you. I'm so glad you guys were available. So that's what I got out of it. I heard from a lot of friends and a lot of just folk, sports fans who were pretty hacked off.
Yeah, Dave Sims, nice enough to join us, voice of the Yankees. Dave, tough one for the A's last night against the Yanks. The bullpen for the Athletics looks shaky here, but what do you think of that lineup and the way that roster's coming together?
You're talking about the Yankees or the A's?
The Athletics, sorry.
I like the team. I like the bats. I like them a lot. I mean, Kurt Langeliers, Sosa, Rooker, that's pretty good. And Wilson's a guy hardly ever struck out last year. I was looking at their stats, major league rankings last year. Pretty darn good. Tied for 5th in batting, 7th in home runs. 12th in runs, 4th in slugging. That's pretty darn good. Bullpen ranked 27th. I think I'll cut it, but they can swing the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, the talk of the town right now is ABS and, how everybody's reacting to it. The umps a bit shell-shocked on how their lives have changed a bit. What's your take on ABS and its debut this season?
I like it. It's quick. They've changed the format. They're based on a vertical rectangle as opposed to an oval. And most of the calls seem to be correcting balls that miss by anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 2 inches below the current rectangle, which probably, undoubtedly were called strikes in the recent past. Sometimes, every now and then you get one that's blown that's up top or outside. But all in all, I like it. And I think, and again, it shows, when a guy challenges and loses, it just shows to how good these umpires are. I mean, we got to give them credit to that. It's a tough job, 200, 300 pitches a night. And, they're going to get some wrong, but they're getting a high percentage correct.
Yeah, Dave, for what it's worth, I thought I would despise it, and I watch it, and I have to admit, wow, it's working pretty well. I get it. But what's working for the Yankees after this 8-2 start? What's propelling their early momentum here?
Pitching's been outstanding. And, they're hitting. They're not driving in a lot of runs, runners in scoring position, but defensively they've done a good job. I mean, was going into last night's game. They're 20th batting average runners in scoring position, not real good, but 5th in runs per game, a little over 5. So they're scoring runs, they're getting enough big hits. Judge hasn't even heated up. Chisholm hasn't heated up yet. Ben Rice has been phenomenal. Cody Bellinger's been really good. And Troy Grisham hasn't fired up yet. So they're 8-2, best record in the American League. Only the Dodgers have more wins. And they got Rodon to come back in May and late May, early June. Garrett Cole and Luis Hill they should be back in the next week to 10 days. So, you get some dudes who are already chucking some really good games. Then you bring those 3 guys back. It's going to be tough for a lot of people. And right now, it looks like they have a chance to really run away and hide from the rest of the division. Toronto's got a whole bunch of injuries. Boston's not playing well. Baltimore's still trying to figure it out. And Tampa Bay probably will find a way to hang around.
Dave, Aaron Judge, local-ish guy out here. And I think about Aaron Judge, and I don't even know what the comparison would be if you look at MJ during his time, Michael Jordan, and then you had the Patrick Ewings and the Karl Malones and guys that were really good, but obviously MJ was MJ. Do you think that what Aaron Judge has done throughout his career may be overshadowed or could be overshadowed because he's playing at the same time as Shohei Ohtani?
No. I mean, Ohtani's great, and Judge is right there. Ohtani happens to do two things super well, so gives a little bit of an edge. But Judge is super valuable. I mean, he played a ball off the wall last night, and I've seen a lot of great right field arms, and he's got one of the best I've ever seen. Bat speaks for itself. Leadership speaks for itself. I mean, if he had to be 1B to Ohtani, there are a whole lot worse things in the world than that.
Dave, how about this? The momentum baseball seems to have right now. Do you think it could possibly prevent an extended work stoppage next year? I know I'm asking you to speculate. We're all hopeful. You're focusing on the day-to-day. But it seems like baseball's got a little something going on here right now.
I hope you're right. I'm thinking along the same lines. I mean, I think the coverage is good. The interest is terrific. And boy, I'd hate to see them cut their own heads off. Again, we went through this in 94, and it took a while to get it back. And it's just, I love watching the game. I love calling the games. I hate to see it happen. These guys kept making money like crazy. The dude in Pittsburgh just signed a 9-year deal. I mean, they're trying to lock up all these young guys, and there's money. There's mega deals all over the place, so things can't be that bad. And to establish a floor and maybe a ceiling, and keep making money and keep producing some great results. We got a lot of young guys coming to the game. I wish we had more young black players coming into the game. That's certainly not the case going on, and that's something that bothers the hell out of me. But outside of that, I mean, I think the game's really good.
Dave, the rule changes, the bigger bags, and you can only pick over so many times. Do you think that has started to affect the 3 true outcomes in the hitting style, where it's, I'm just going to try to hit a home run because singles don't matter? Do you think some of those rule changes have encouraged the hitting philosophy to come back to the early 2000s and the 90s, or are you still seeing a bunch of strikeouts, walks, and home runs?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people either have or should pay attention to what the Toronto Blue Jays did. I know we did. Put the ball in play. You got your home runs are going to come, and put the ball in play. And they got all the way to the World Series. The Dodgers, they outspend everybody. They've got a deep well of talent, but they can slug and they can put it in play. And I think that. I'm old school about growing up in the 50s and 60s. I'd like to see even more running that's going on, hit and run, that kind of stuff. They don't do that anymore. But yeah, they're still looking for the home runs. But I don't think it's as bad as it was a few years ago, like 5-6 years ago. I thought that was just totally nuts. I mean, true outcome, walk, strike down, home run. The Yankees, I think we've stolen a good number of bases so far this year. So I hope that continues.
Dave, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the game. Have a great broadcast. We hope to talk to you soon.
You got it, fellas. Thanks a lot. Good. Thanks for the invite. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Dave
Dave.
Sims. How odd is that to hear a guy who works for the Yankees saying, the Dodgers, they outspend everybody. Yeah. I mean, there was a time when the Yankees,
right? Nobody
topped the Yankees.
Dodgers got that new money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a different stratosphere.
Mm-hmm. By the way, and this, for younger people have no idea, but I think, Jay, you remember Davey Lopes, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah, Davey Lopes passed away at 80 years
old.
I
didn't see that.
Davey Lopes was a Dodger for many years on those great Dodger teams, and he was an athletic for a while, too. Just found out today Davey Lopes passed away at the age of 80. We won't forget you, Davey Lopes. We'll come back with a look at why the NBA is looking closely at what went down in that Kings loss last night. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Only available with TurboTax experts. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile app.
Drew Brees here. Whether you're on the field or on the road, having the right team on your side makes all the difference. I learned that the hard way. On the field, you don't go anywhere without a solid O-line. And when your car breaks down, you want that same kind of protection. That's why I trust CarShield. Their protection plans help you tackle expensive repairs so that you're not blindsided.
Visit carshield.com now and join the team that's helped millions of drivers save. Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at carshield.com.
It's no secret, the world feels unpredictable lately. And one thing will never change, Hoblet's mission to nuke high prices. Right now, and only at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, you can get 4.99% financing for up to 84 months on all new vehicles in stock, and keep every factory rebate you qualify for when you finance with Hoblet's preferred lender. That's 4.99% financing, and you keep all the factory rebates you qualify for. Not one or the other like the other dealers are offering. And this can't last long, so shop now at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, and now, unbeatable interest rates. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 4.99% APR available on select new vehicles in stock while supplies last. Pricing and savings may vary based on model and trim. Financing on approved credit through Hoblet Preferred Lender. For well-qualified buyers, $60,000 max finance, approximately $14.14 per thousand borrowed. Residency restrictions and lender membership requirements may apply. See dealer for details.
Card collectors know there's nothing as special as a rare one-of-one card. And now you can hear a very rare one-of-a-kind sports card show right here on Sactown Sports. Whitey Gleason here inviting you to join me and Mr. True Sports Cards himself, Imran Pilati, for the True Sports Card Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sactown Sports. It's the only sports card radio show in the nation. For all your hobby needs, get to True Sports Cards, 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland. And for hobby insight and fun, join us for the True Sports Card Show Saturday mornings at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sunday baseball just got way more fun. Join Dinger's Kids Club with the Sacramento Rivercats. For just $35 all season, kids get a ticket to every Sunday Rivercats home game and tons of fun all season long. Sign up today at rivercats.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140.
MBM Beats.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Warriors over the Kings last night, 110-105. That's not the story. By the way, Killian Hayes had a good game last night. Your guy, Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
18 points, 3 of 7 beyond the arc, 18 points on 13 shots. But that's not the story. The story is that Draymond Green accused the Kings of blatant tanking. I saw a team tonight foul Seth Curry, with 3 minutes to go in a game for no reason in the penalty. No reason, he says. So the NBA today, according to ESPN, is looking into what Kings sources say was a strategy mistake by Doug Christie and not intentional tanking tactics late in Tuesday's loss to the Warriors. The Kings actually were up 1, 3:15 to go. Doug Christie called for, this says Doug McDermott. I'm pretty sure it was Neek. despite being in the penalty. Strategy was just a misstep. So that's the company line, and I think it's the truth from the Kings. Hey, we weren't tanking. If you were going to tank, that's not how you would tank with 3:15 to go. Hey, foul him so he can shoot some free throws. Come on, Draymond.
Right.
Come on, all you idiots on social media. They're going, hey, they need to look at this. The league needs to look at this. This looks bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't look bad.
No.
Use your brain.
And 3 minutes left. So much can happen in 3 minutes. It would make more sense if they wanted to blatantly tank. It would be, the Kings are up with about 15 seconds, and then they foul and just say, here you go, Seth.
Alan, it's a classic example of how as human beings, when you look for something, you're going to find it.
Right.
Because wow, okay, well, that was suspicious. Oh, did they do anything else? Oh, yeah, later, Dylan Cardwell fouled Seth Curry, he was going for a rebound.
Right.
And some people are holding that up as evidence of, look, the Kings were up to some shenanigans.
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
They've literally, everybody spending all this time on the idea. It's just, Whitey, it's this hive mind. It's this kind of pitchfork mob that they're just, look, now they're taking, let's go get them. Oh, wait, no, today they're taking, let's go get them.
Sometimes I think it's akin to this. It's like, well, that's the story. Is there anything to it? It doesn't matter. What's the new angle on it?
Yeah.
What can we add to the fire? Because we need something to talk about.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. Because, and to that point, if you look, and we spent some time looking at the standings yesterday, you look at the breakdown. The Thunder, they're up 3 games. The Spurs, they're already locked into the 2 seed. The argument between the 4 and the 5, the Lakers and the Rockets, they're split by about 1 game, but the Lakers aren't healthy, so the Nuggets will probably hold on to the 3 seed. Then you have another split from 6 and another split from 7. So what was it last season, Whitey? This thing came down to the wire, and in the Eastern Conference, essentially the same thing. Knicks and Cavs are separated by a game. Hawks and Raptors separated by a game, but there's not a lot of high-stakes basketball for these last couple games, so they need other storylines, and this is what they're going with.
How about this, Alan? The Jazz let the Pelicans score 95 points in the second half last night, while half the team sat out. But what's the league looking at? Ooh, that Kings thing. Look at that.
Hey,
oh, boy.
Well, Draymond didn't play in that game. Draymond didn't play in that game.
Right.
How many players could have said what Draymond said and ended up with an investigation? Is it just, seriously, is it what? Draymond, LeBron, Steph. I don't know who else has that type of juice.
Yeah.
Still.
Couple coaches, maybe.
KD.
If Wemby had said something, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because they want
I get your point.
They want it to be that. So
yeah.
This is just a perfect combination of some drama and people being bored, and more importantly, the Warrior and Draymond's being Draymond. We with Frank Caliendo yesterday talking about how Charles Barkley is just him. I don't know how genuine Draymond always is, but because it doesn't affect him right now, leads me to more so believe that he was just being Draymond and just talking versus having ulterior motives. And really, he's more so setting up, listen to the rest of my podcast.
Yeah.
So, doesn't affect the Warriors at all.
Was that your Draymond?
No. There's no
who
more.
Was that Barkley? Was that?
No, there's no more impersonations here.
Okay.
Frank's got it. He's got the crown. He's got the crown.
Well, it's funny because he was talking about Draymond as part of his act, and I almost want to get up and go, Frank, he stepped on Sabonis.
Yeah, right. Yeah, quit pulling my foot or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
This was just Draymond kind of being Draymond, and because he is who he is, Adam Silver, I'm not trying to bag on the guy, but just seems like he just goes. It seems like Adam Silver is just like one of us. He goes on social media and sees what people are talking about and says, okay, we probably need to investigate that. Mm-hmm. If you don't hear about it, if it doesn't catch fire, just like the Nets didn't catch fire, he doesn't have independent investigators. He should have, if I were Adam Silver, if you really want to curb this thing, I'd have independent investigators at Jazz games, at Wizards games, at Nets games, at Pacers games, and at Kings games. That's what I would do. But that's not what he's doing. He's seeing what's trending on, Draymond said something. All right, let's look into it. Because nobody really talked. And the Nets thing, when they didn't shoot the three or, those 2 games in a row, Whitey, it went semi-viral, but it didn't hang around and there was no Draymond-esque figure talking about it. And honestly, it's not even just Draymond. Like we said, Bill Simmons, Worldwide Wob was trying to defend the Kings, which is rare.
Dan Patrick. So something has to catch fire in order for Adam Silver to say, all right, let's check it out. Let me ask you a tough one here. Could what went down last night have any adverse effect on Coach Christie's chances to return? I mention this because we had from Jake Fisher, the Kings are considering scenarios in which Doug Christie continues as coach next season, his future still being evaluated, given that the numerous injuries suffered make it difficult to determine his true capacity for the role. That sounds good. Okay, that all came out before we knew that the league was going to look into what happened last night, which prompted the Kings to respond by saying, no, that was a strategic error. Coach Christie didn't realize that the Warriors were in the bonus.
Well, it most certainly doesn't help. It certainly does not help because in order for the Kings to avoid tanking allegations, you essentially have to say, yeah, our coach bleeped up in that situation. So, and that's what they're going to say that is what they've said to the league. Our coach made a mistake. So I think optics matter.
Strategy was a misstep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think optics matter. And I don't know that he's going to lose his job. If he loses his job, it's not going to be because of this, but it certainly doesn't help because everybody wants to believe that their coach is well-equipped to win basketball games. And last night, a mistake like that ain't about injuries. That's not about injuries. That's not about having the horses. That's just a mistake that coaches will make. But if you're Scott Perry, I'm looking at that saying, what if this was to get the 7 seed? What if this game mattered? What was the thought process? Was there any other coaches that said anything to him? Mm-hmm. I need to know more. So I don't think this by itself is going to sway any decisions, but it most certainly doesn't help.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be a factor. I mean, it's interesting too, when you try to figure out, all right, well, where is this coming from? Where is Jake Fisher getting his information? Mm-hmm. It's possible that this is the organization kind of floating this.
Order to
it definitely, don't you think, to see, hey, how do people react to that? How does a team react to it? I think it's just all but a formality, just taking last night aside, that he's probably going to be back this year. I mean, if the Kings are considering scenarios, that's not something that would come from Coach Christie's camp, in my opinion. That's
Definitely
something that's coming from somebody with the organization. So if I'm Coach Christie and I see that, it's like, oh, okay, that's good for me and my future here. If that's what they're doing, that's very good.
Well, he's under contract. You know what I mean? He's under.
Yeah, but he still wants to be
on
the bench.
Sure. I'm just saying he's under contract, meaning and this is what, essentially what Doug has said before, as far as I know, we're solid here. We're on one accord. We're on the same page. Now, when it comes to next season where he's got that option, that's where this stuff becomes a little bit more interesting. But, I mean, I don't know, Whitey, you're taking kind of the positive outlook on Doug, but I'm not taking that positive outlook because he's under contract. So why are we even I know it was a tough season, but why are we even talking about shuffling options when I'm under contract? This is not the option next season. So why are we even shuffling options? I am the option. I'm under contract.
Because just look at it at the surface level. He's a brand new coach. I know he was a rookie coach last year, and the team only won 20-something games. Mm-hmm. So what are we going to do about that? Any team, any level, you start with the coach or the manager.
Right.
So they have to let it be known that, you know what, we start there. Of course, everyone would. We're still evaluating, but look at all the injuries. We don't feel like the record is a reflection of the job he's done.
Yeah, and I'm just not sure if the shuffling options thing is about, we want to see Doug with a different staff. right? We want to see Doug with a more experienced staff, or we joked about the snake draft when they kept Doug or they hired Doug. Doug gets a guy. Scott Perry gets a guy. Maybe they change it to where, yeah, they're going to be mostly Scott Perry's guys. I mean, Doug, you can stay, but the rest of the crew is going to be Scott Perry's guys. I don't know if that's the situation about shuffling options or if it's about what we've talked about before. If we're fully rebuilding, we're going to keep Doug. If we're going to hybrid this thing, we're going to move forward. Or the reverse. We want to start fresh with another coach, or, and if we're going to hybrid rebuild, we're just going to leave Doug for another year. And then when you hit 2027, we have an option with Doug, so no harm, no foul. That's what we all agreed to. Our books are clean. That makes more sense to me. And from what we've heard, not reports per se, but just the idea of, do the Kings, if they get AJ DeBonsa, do they want to keep Doug, knowing if they're not sure if Doug is their long-term answer, would you want to put your player in a position to where they're probably going to have two coaches within the first 2 years? And the answer is no.
My read on this is, if we're hearing that, then what we're hearing is from the source that, yeah, we're probably going to bring him back. I could be wrong. I think if they were going to move off of him, I think we'd be hearing inklings like, Kings are not sure they're satisfied, and that's not what we're hearing. I could be totally wrong, but that's my read on it. You also have the fact that you're probably next year going to be rebuilding the roster again. We don't know that for a fact, but it sure looks that way. So you have this coach who has done, well, let's just look at the facts and take opinion out of it. You have a coach who has overseen the rapid development and improvement of some of your young players, one of whom came out and said, I love the guy. He's made me what I am. So I think it would be silly to move off of him. And I know a lot of fans say, they would have won more games with a different coach. Like, okay, fine. I don't think that's true.
Yeah, can I be honest with you?
I would hope you would. Why do you even have to ask that question?
Yeah, I got to protect myself in these situations. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not super moved when players say they love a coach, especially when it's their first coach in the NBA. I think most players, specifically in a situation like the Kings.
I agree with that, but I think it depends on what they say and how they say it.
Like, to me, because you're talking about Dylan Cardwell, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Dylan Cardwell, undrafted guy, not sure what his future is going to be in the NBA. Doug Christie takes a liking to him because of the way he plays, the style that he plays. I mean, of course, Dylan is going to have, an affinity for Doug Christie.
Right.
So I don't know. Like I said, it really depends on how much you care about next season or what your goals are next season. But that doesn't really move me because, of course, Dylan Cardwell is going to feel like that.
Well, that's not necessarily true in my opinion. But you have a guy who was undrafted. We know Doug Christie, and as you pointed out, took to him early on, Summer League. I mean, the High Flyers told us, Doug's loved this guy forever.
Right.
This guy's having an incredible year. He's not all world or anything, but you look at the impact he's had on winning, some of the things he's done. He's had a really good year for a guy who was not drafted. And he didn't just say, I like Coach. He's really good. No, I mean, he raved about him.
That's also how Dylan Cardwell talks. You know what I mean? It is kind of how he loves. He loves. He loves a lot. So I don't know. I'm not saying good. It's better than having the other conversation. If they said, yeah, Coach is cool, but I just don't think that's how Dylan Cardwell is.
Okay, I would say, see if I can meet you halfway. I agree with you in this sense. To me, that doesn't mean, oh, man, he's going to be our coach forever.
Yeah.
But it's not nothing. I don't know how much it is. And I think we agree it's not a bad thing. But to me, it's like, oh, okay. I'm going to take note of that because, again, one of the things that has happened this year is a number of the young players have played better and have gotten better. That's the key. Have gotten better as the season's gone on.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to...
I understand.
I kind of fight it. It just was such a unique season where I'm just not sure how much of that is Doug versus the fact that half of the roster has been injured. So these guys were getting minutes on minutes all for the second half of the season. If none of these injuries happen, I don't know where we're at with this. So And to be clear, I'm of the mindset they should bring Doug back. I don't think it helps anything to move on from Doug now. That's just how I feel, period. I don't necessarily am putting an extra boost to it because of these guys, because how the situation went down, with Sabonis going out and, all these guys not playing the second half. I think, if they weren't better, I'd say you'd have to can Doug. Now, the level of how much better they are, I'm just maybe struggling with how much of that is Doug versus them getting way more playing time than, honestly, some of the other young players in the league.
I do think it's a shame, moving on from that conversation for a moment, that the league, and we've all said this, we've repeated it today, but it just really is frustrating that the league here is looking at the Kings like maybe they've been tanking. The Kings actually can't tank to the extent other teams are. I believe the Kings have tanked this year. I know a lot of us like to say, oh, no, they're just not very good. They've tanked. They should be tanking. They can't tank to the extent other teams are tanking, though, because look at, like we were saying yesterday about the Memphis Grizzlies, who tied a record for most threes in a game. They had a bunch of guys, some of whom weren't even on the team a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's one way to tank. You get young guys that are like G League guys, and you bring them up, and you don't have to worry about impacting their futures, or the culture of the team. You don't have to worry about poisoning them with all the losing because you don't plan on having them around.
Right.
The Kings are different. They plan to build around these guys. And also, as we said yesterday, I think you were on board with this, Alan, a lot of these guys that we're talking about, they're way better than some of the guys other teams are putting on the floor.
Yes.
So it's hard. And I think that's one reason, it's my guess, Kings looked at it and said, we're still going to lose a lot of games. We should get a good pick, but we can't lose every game like these other teams are. We would have to embarrass ourselves to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting. I don't know, Whitey. I will push back just a little bit.
Push!
Simply because I do think every team is sitting around that 3-player group that I think that's what the Kings have, right? Dylan, Neek, and Maxime. Are we putting anybody else in that category for when you say we're quote unquote building around the young guys?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Devin Carter maybe.
Yeah.
And Precious I know isn't a young player, but Precious to me is a great example because here's a guy that, as we said yesterday with the high flyer, he's so much better than some of these guys that other teams are throwing out there right now.
Yeah.
And he's taking full advantage of that opportunity.
I think I'm more so with you on that front than the building around thing because I just pulled up the last Jazz game. And they have Cody Williams, who went, what was he, top 10 or top 12 a couple years ago?
Jay and I had him rated very highly.
Yeah, and you're not alone. Kyle Filipowski, who I know went later, but they liked what they've seen, and Bryce Sensabaugh. So that's their 3 guys, and then a bunch of, John Conchar and Oscar Tshiebwe, guys like that. So I think that's where I'm more so with you. They have their guys. Now, they're not their highest. They have higher draft picks that they have kind of sat down.
Right.
This is maybe their second layer. They're still, but their second layer, again, apples maybe to pears, not necessarily oranges. Yeah, the Kings have a late first and an undrafted guy and a second rounder out there too. It's not like they have top picks out there either. So all I'm saying is each team has their main guys that they're throwing out there. I think it's the others where the Kings have a Precious Achiuwa. When DeMar feels like going off, they have a DeMar. You look, I mean, no disrespect to, the other Jazz players, but Blake Hinson and Kennedy Chandler. I think that's more of the issue.
I agree. Maybe you just kind of clarified what I was saying, but I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
There's definitely a difference there.
The difference to me isn't the guys that they're building around. Honestly, it's the guys that we don't know if they're building around or not. We don't think the Jazz are building around those other 7 guys. And they're not. They're G Leaguers. The Kings' other 7 guys, Malik Monk making $20 million.
10.5 minutes only for him last night.
They're trying. Yeah,
they are. That's it. So they are tanking. They just, we can't tank as well as these other teams.
That's my question, though. Does it just start and end with this situation that happened last night, or does Adam now say we got to investigate the whole operation? Why was DeMar not playing? And why was, what is up with Russell Westbrook?
It's a great question.
That's what I'm curious about, not just the stupid foul.
It wouldn't stun me, but it would be very unfair when other teams have done things much more blatant.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I've wondered if we should be waiting for the other Nike to fall after what the NBA did in fining the Pacers and especially the Jazz. It's like, okay, you did that. And things didn't change. Mm-hmm. So what do you got next? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe that was just for appearances.
3 games left. He's just ready to drop the hammer with the new rules.
Yeah. I don't know, but it does worry me that they're even looking into this. Yeah. But yeah, it's a report that the league's looking into it. It's not it's not something where the commissioner's coming out and going, yeah, this is something we just can't tolerate.
Yeah. And we don't have a timeline on that. We don't necessarily know when the new rules are going to drop. We're just kind of doing stuff. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out at some point. Hey, Adam, are the Kings good or not? Yeah, we'll find out.
Did you want to get into some of the tanking? Did you say that today?
I already complained.
Okay.
About.
Right. But you didn't have like a new scenario like this is the way they should do the lottery.
No.
Okay, good.
I will no.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, there's no way.
Okay.
Thank you. Nobody cares.
I thought you had said something about that earlier before we were on the air, and I'm
No.
Okay.
I just know people keep talking about it.
Right.
And I don't care.
Here's what I would do is I don't care.
And you're too late.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're about to get the actual rules. You wanted to get content and clicks out of that. That was a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want it then. But I damn sure don't want it now.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Alan, did your Giants actually win today?
Yes, sir.
The Giants 5-0 over the Phillies.
Yes, sir.
The Giants are rolling.
2 in a row.
Uh-huh.
What's the rule on that? I know Major League is it 2? Is that a winning streak or it's got to be 3?
I think it's got to be 3.
Okay. Orioles, Adley Rutschman, you're next. Have you ever been to the Orioles ballpark?
No, I haven't. Camden Yards?
It's nice. Guys, it's nice.
Do they have crab cakes there too?
I'm sure they do.
Okay.
I don't think I had them.
Right.
But that's a nice ballpark.
Wasn't that the first or one of the very first new parks where they decided, let's make it look like an old park?
Yeah. Well, they got the brick.
Yeah.
And then they have, apartments that are close by. It's nice, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maryland's nice. Maryland's a nice area. Mm-hmm. And it's nice out there.
Mm-hmm.
Giants going to give them a nice L. They win a series, fellas. They win a series. So
against a team that's supposed to be pretty good.
And 2 shutouts in a row.
Yes.
2 shutouts in a row.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is what happens when people overreact too
Alan's
early.
Getting his baseball bounce back.
And people, get too scared too early. Sorry, Bryce. Go back home. See you, Kyle Schwarber. Go back home.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have to make another documentary on Trey Turner for being in a slump. Goodbye, Phillies.
Yeah, it looks like the Giants maybe are finding their identity. And last night, the Lincoln Potter guy did it again. So we'll celebrate a Giants win with everybody's favorite Giant fan, Alan Stiles. Next, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Innova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Running a business takes grit, vision, and a partner who believes in your success as much as you do. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built around you. The entrepreneurs, the growers, the dreamers, powering our community. Whether you need flexible checking, faster payments, or financing to take your next big step, Valley Strong brings local expertise and real relationships to every stage of your business. Because when local businesses thrive, the whole valley grows stronger. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future. ValleyStrong.com/business.
Switchfoot Live. Friday, April 24th, 7 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley. With Fuel. And Lit. And Thomas Ian Nicholas. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. One incredible night with Switchfoot, Fuel, and Lit together live.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
There's always more Kings talk to discuss.
And we've got you covered. It's the Drive Guys.
Yeah, a lot more Kings talk today with the NBA investigating what went down last night. Draymond Green thought it was tanking, so we're anxiously awaiting any word from the league on that, although it looks like the whole thing is in the process of blowing over. And because I have been, poking fun at Allen over the last week or so, however long it's been, over his Giants, we have to give him a moment here to bask in the afterglow of not only a 5-0 win today, but back-to-back wins for the Giants. Back-to-back shutout wins by your Giants, Allen. Good for you.
Yeah, game ball to Robbie Ray last night and game ball to...
What about Susac last night?
Oh, we'll get to him. And game ball to Tyler Malley. He did have 4 walks, but 6 strikeouts, 5 2/3 innings. I've been pretty tough on Tyler Malley just because, him and Adrian Hauser, those were the 2 guys that Buster Posey went out, basically 2 for the price of 1. Whitey only making, one's making $12 million, the other's making $11 million. So you can get a good start out of them and you win a series against the Phillies where Logan Webb did not pitch. You got to be happy about that. Mm-hmm. And Daniel Susac, people were upset today, Whitey, because Daniel Susac last night balls out once again and did not play today. So we've seen him twice. Both times he has done his thing. His OPS is out of control right now. He had, 2-3 RBIs last night. And Tony Vitello said, yeah, Aaron Nola, he's tough on righties, so we are giving Daniel another break, but you will be seeing more Daniel Susac.
Probably against lefties, right? 3 hits for Susac last night. The former Lincoln Potter, we talked to Phantom about that last week. Susac became the first Giant since Willie McCovey in 1959 to start his career with 4 hits and 4 at-bats when he elevated an ankle-high sinker from Christopher Sanchez for a single in the second inning. Then he became the first Giant in the modern era to debut 5 for 5 when he singled again in the 5th inning.
Yeah.
Willie McCovey, his 4 for 4 debut was, if I'm not mistaken, also against the Phillies. Whoa.
That is weird.
Wow.
Now you have a Moyer situation.
Against the Phillies as well.
Yeah. Now you have a Moyer
situation. That's when he
situation.
realized it was against the Phillies.
You know what I struggle with, guys? This new, I guess, and it's been going on for a while, but you said, hey, Daniel Susac, probably going to play against lefties, right? So I feel like when I was growing up watching baseball, and obviously I wasn't watching as closely, but it feels like, and I know he's not the starter, but when guys would come up, it was more about, like, for example, and maybe it's not fair, but Connor Griffin, who they just signed to that ridiculous contract on the Pirates, he's going to play every day, right? So what is that line with the guys that they pull up and only having them face one side because it's a more favorable matchup? At what point do they say, okay, now we're going to let you hit righties, right? And then they're not good against righties because they haven't hit righties at the major league level. And then they say, well, all right, well, now we can't play you against righties because you're not good against righties. But I'm thinking, well, you're not good against righties because you never faced righty-righty. It's the same thing with the lefties. They pull up these guys. I believe they did it with Bryce Eldridge last season when they pulled him up for the last 10 games and he was up there. Then a lefty was on the bump and he didn't play one game and people were freaking out. Well, we want to keep him against righties. It's almost like I don't understand this training wheels thing because when you take the training wheels off, it's going to be wobbly, and then you're going to put the training wheels back on. Well, he's not good against lefties because he doesn't face lefties. But in AAA, I can guarantee you.
Alan. It's too much early on.
I can guarantee you Bryce Eldridge is facing lefties. So
learn to hit the guys from the opposite side first, then.
Yeah, that's how I don't remember that. I don't remember that back in my day.
And I also have to think that a lot of that now is driven by analytics. I mean, everything in baseball.
Yeah.
The lineups are based on things most of us would go, wait, what?
Yeah.
Spin rates and all kinds of things. So I have to think a lot of that today is based on analytics from what players have done in the minors.
Not to get too nerdy here, but I do wonder, speaking of Connor Griffin, if they keep on signing these zero service time contracts, right, which means that the player hasn't played in the bigs yet, will that get rid of the idea of, okay, well, now we're paying them $15 million a year, you're going to face both versus Daniel Susac, who's kind of bounced around a bit. You got a catcher who is more natural lefty, so there's no need in having Daniel Susac face righties right now. But if you had committed 15, if they signed Bryce Eldridge right now with the zero service time thing, and he's making $12 million a year, would they say, yeah, you got to face lefties too? I don't know. I do wonder about that because I don't remember that, guys. You don't pull up Derek Jeter or A-Rod. Oh, they can't face righties. You don't see that.
Right. It has to be based on how they're scouted and things they show before they even get to that level. I'm guessing. Understand your point. I just have to say this. I have a question for Jay, actually. Jay, with back-to-back shutouts now for the Giants, are they maybe a top 8, top 9 brand in baseball again?
That'd be a negative.
It's
again?
More, no. It's more like 5 to 6.
I tell you this much. I just put a text into our partner, fellow drive guy, Kyle Draper, because how in the heck are the Phillies allowing the Giants to succeed?
Right.
But, I mean, if we're talking brands, I still got them about 10-ish.
No,
that's nice. That's pretty good.
About 10.
That's top
I think
third.
I think they moved up about 3 spots.
That's top third.
This is ridiculous.
They might have jumped the Phillies.
Jay,
actually, they have jumped the Phillies.
You know what, Jay?
Yes, sir.
I know you got, big plans coming up. I don't think I want to allow you in my ballpark for Padres Giants, man. I think you're going to have to watch in Sacramento. I don't think you can make it.
Speaking of the brand, and I'm not saying this because I pull for the Padres, but not last season, but the season before, late in the year, San Diego was in Oracle. My daughter took me to the game. So this was September. It was like 2 weeks ago in the season. And I think the Padres swept them. And on the last game of the series on a Sunday, I'm sitting there watching the game. It was a close game. I think it was extra innings. And there was a chant at Oracle, "Let's go, Padres!" Seriously, I'm not saying that to make fun of you. That really happened. I was like, oh my goodness, I've never heard that at Oracle Park. That wasn't last year. That was the year before.
Yeah,
it shows you how the brand.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Not what it used to be.
No, it is what it used to be.
What did it used to be?
No. That was the year. I think
used
the
to be
Padres.
Let's go Giants in San Diego.
No. That was the year the Padres, I think, choked to the Dodgers. That was that year.
They were up.
Yeah. So y'all were hot that year, and that's okay. Teams like the Padres, they'll have, your brand. It's Slam Diego. Let's put fries in a burrito. We know what that brand is.
Wow. The disrespect
But the Giants
of a tortilla.
I never said the Padres were a bigger brand than the Giants. I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that.
I'm not implying that. I don't actually think that yet.
Right.
So that's not.
But they were down that year. And look.
But they've been down, is my point.
They've been down, but they're on their way up now.
Okay.
It's like an elevator.
I do think we talked about this. I think you might have mentioned, hey, they don't have an identity. The last two games show you, in my opinion, this Giants team this year, their identity has to be, we got some really good starting pitching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not the big names that you're used to outside of Logan Webb and Robbie Ray, who I believe Robbie Ray
is good
on the last year of his deal. But Roop is the first young guy that it feels like.
I call him Loop. Sorry, Landon Roop. I call him Loop.
That's fine.
He feels like the first young guy that they've really developed and they can feel good about. So you got three guys right there.
Right.
And then Adrian Hauser has been good.
I agree.
And Tyler Mahle, good start today. So the problem is, will you hit enough? Will your bullpen pick you up enough? And that's what it always is.
That'll be a no, but let me go ahead and answer that for you. I'll also say this, and it's no disrespect to those young fellas because they're just getting their foot wet in the league. But to me, when you name out people like Roop and you name out guys like Hauser, those aren't household names.
Right.
And to be completely honest, they're not even California household names, right?
No.
And so you can't be a big brand with those type of names. The Giants logo does not carry the weight as, say, per se, the Raiders logo. It's just not the truth. And no matter how you want to look at it as a Giants fan, you're still living off your 3 championships in 80 years almost. It's not that big of a deal, big time, when you got the Dodgers who are winning over and over and over. It's not. It's truly not, man. I think you got to take a step back outside of the Giants land and really pay attention. Ain't nobody checking for the Giants on the East Coast, the Midwest, down south. They're not looking for them.
Pardon me, Jay. I would argue the Giants are kind of linked to the Dodgers.
They are.
Every success the Dodgers have, if the Giants ain't having it, it pushes them down.
Mets to the Yankees.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Cardinals to the Cubs.
I don't even know. Jay, what even prompted this soliloquy?
Because you talked about the brand earlier in the segment. So you thought it sneaked out.
Whitey brought up the brand.
A lot of people said they liked that conversation. That's why I brought it back.
But anytime you defend it,
I like that conversation.
I'm on your helmet.
It's not about no. But Jay,
I'm on your helmet like a logo sticker.
That's fine. You can talk about that. That's you have it backwards. And number one, I get on the Giants for obsessing over, obviously, 3 championships in, 5 years? Of course.
No, in 80.
3 championships in 5 years. It's a dynasty, Jay.
54? What was it, last one, 54?
It was a dynasty, Jay.
Okay.
It was a dynasty. And they still are living off it too much. I agree with that. You walk into the ballpark. You're not allowed to go, Jay, but you walk into the ballpark and you see the 3 World Series trophies right there. Mm-hmm. It's as soon as you walk in. I joke about it, Jay. You walk into Oracle Park, it's literally like a time zone shift. It feels like it's 2012. That's what it feels like. With that being said, your claim as far as the brand.
I like how your left hand, you put like a question mark and a little bit of everything.
Your statement.
Yep.
About the brand and, you don't have enough high-powered names to power the brand itself. That's where you have it backwards, my friend. That's where you have it backwards. Because the San Francisco Giants, okay, who got the Netflix night with the Yankees, they got that with Robbie Ray, with Landon Roop, with Tyler Malley.
Kane anymore. You don't have Lincecum.
No, they don't have that.
You even have
B.
Vogel.
Watson.
They didn't have
B.
big,
Wilson.
but guys, they didn't have big names back then, and they were winning championships.
Then
You
how
had
is it
Posey
that
and
everyone
Betts.
still remembers them?
Because of the brand. That's my point.
Nah.
Just how strong the brand is.
I disagree. I
They
think
had Pablo. They had Panda.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They had names. You're talking about people that could be like Buster Posey for the most part for a very long time was considered not the best catcher, second, right? Mauer. There was a few people. We're talking about like Brandon Crawford was a baseball guy. We're talking about Panda, which took over a phenomenon, not just here, but in islands too. So there's a difference. There's a different situation.
But that comes with winning.
And
It
but
comes
you
with
guys
winning.
aren't. And that's
But
what
it's
Whitey's been saying. You guys haven't been winning, and the brand is slumping.
We'll continue the conversation when we come back. Also, the Warriors, speaking of the Bay, they are nobody to accuse any other team of tanking. You ready to resume this?
I'm fine.
Go to your corner for a little bit?
I'm fine.
Yeah. We're back with more Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
A's fans, the 2026 season is coming fast, and single game tickets are on sale now. Be there for an exciting season packed with theme days, giveaways, and firework nights, including bobbleheads, jerseys, hats, and much more. And getting in is easier than ever. Tickets start at just $8 for select April and May games. From opening day to unforgettable summer nights, there's something for everyone at the ballpark. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets. And be part of the excitement this 2026 season.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton & Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet, Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Declaration of Deals sales event?
There's no better time to upgrade to a new 2026 Ram 1500 Crew Cab with some of the best fuel economy numbers in the segment. Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP and get 2.9% APR with no payments for 90 days.
Wow, that's like savings on savings on savings.
The price of gas has people rethinking what they're driving, and Ram's up to 25 MPG is a win. Plus, thousands in savings with 2.9% interest. Now really is the best time to buy a new Ram truck.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 15,000 total net savings includes dealer discount and factory rebates. Discounts may include 1,000 Hoblet trade-in assistance on eligible trade, 1,000 Hoblet business owner bonus with proof of ownership, and 500 on-the-job upfit with eligible upfit. 2.9% financing for 72 months through Stellantis for well-qualified buyers. $15.15 per 1,000 borrowed. Deferred payments available on approved credit. Interest accrues from date of purchase. Cannot be combined with certain incentives. Excludes Ram 1500 ROH and tungsten models. 25 MPG based on EPA published rating. See dealer for details.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, the Warriors are nobody to accuse any other team of tanking. We'll get to that in just a moment here with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports. We've been talking about the Giants. They win today. And, I thought Allen would be happy with back-to-back shutouts, but still he's angry about the disrespect for the Giants and the brand.
I'm happy.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm happy about the Giants.
Yeah. I do want to address one thing. Alan showed me a clip from last night, from the Giants win last night. And I know sometimes I make jokes about Crewcade. And Mike Krukow is a legend. I remember actually talking to him when he played. You could tell then this guy's going to be a great announcer. I know he's had some health issues. He's an absolute treasure. And I wish him nothing but the best, and he's phenomenal. I make fun of how he, sometimes he spins things, and it's his job, kind of spins things the Giants' way. And so that's why I make jokes about Crewcade. You drink the Crewcade, and you start seeing things a little differently. So last night, there was a place, somebody hits a line drive to left field, and Ramos runs in, charges, and it bounces in front of him and bounces off his chest, right?
Yes,
You saw it?
yes.
And like Krukow, I think you pointed out to me, Krukow's like, that's a heck of a play by Ramos.
To keep it in front.
Yeah.
It was
And it's
a normal single.
Yeah.
Well, what happened is he got caught in between, and I hated this. He got caught in between, do I dive?
Yeah.
Or do I sit back and take the long hop? So honestly, it could have been really bad. So I think what Krukow really meant was he saved.
Good thing it didn't get by him.
Yeah, it could have been a bad, but he wore it off the chest. And people were using the Happy Gilmore memes at the beginning when he's just in the batting cage, just wearing baseballs off the chest. That's what Elliot Ramos did last night.
I mean, that's a play you see made a lot at the complex, softball.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys, hey, if
I've
Ramos
done it
can do
myself.
that, I could have did that.
That's right.
I saw somebody, shout out Nick on the text line. He said the classic, I'm 6 foot. If I was 6'6", I'd be in the league.
Yeah,
that's
right.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Now that one, guys, I'm okay with that one.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, because we could all say that.
Well, because you don't take it personally when someone says that about basketball.
But I would, to that point, not who Jay's talking about, people that say, if I didn't, mess up my knee or whatever, I'd be in the league. But there are probably a lot of college basketball players that get ticked off when people say that.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever know anybody, we won't mention any names, somebody who got drafted and you're kind of like, why? You ever seen that?
I will say this way. You can do the detective work because I ain't going to put him on blast, but I think a Nepo situation where he got drafted and then a couple years later, his older brother got drafted to the same organization and he played for I don't know, maybe 2 years. I think more like 1 year, and they released him.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out for the Palo Alto Oaks and did not make the team.
Mm-hmm.
And we all thought, oh, okay, well, I guess. But, You get to say he played professional baseball.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing against the people. They don't draft themselves, obviously.
No.
But I can remember a player or two on Vallejo where you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Maybe I was just wrong.
Right.
But
yeah, I don't have any that are off the top of my head that don't make nepo sense in some way. Just a random, hey, that didn't make a lot of sense.
Speaking of random not making sense, JR joins us here on Sactown Sports. Nice segue. What's up, JR? How are you?
Good. I got a lot to unpack here real quick.
Oh, no.
As a lifetime Giants fan.
Yeah.
First of all, Whitey, no one ever cheered Let's Go Padres in my Oracle Park.
No,
never.
Thank you. Yes, it happened.
Not happening.
Yeah.
Then you threw out McCovey.
Yeah.
Of course, I give Susak full credit that he got coached up by your boy Phantom. But I got the caddy once for McCovey.
Really?
Oh, Willie.
Yeah.
Oh, I was 8th grade down there in St. Pius on Woodside Road, and they were doing a fundraiser. Super cool dude.
Big hitter?
Get it? Big hitter.
Yeah.
He was a big hitter. And he put a rake in my neck and said, Unga Gunga Gunga. Yeah, so I have total consciousness on my deathbed now.
Yeah.
But Willie McCovey, good guy. And then as far as Jay,
yeah,
dude, you never been back east? Because there are New York bars I went into that are all SF Giants.
That's right, JR.
The whole freaking bar is F Giants.
That's right.
And what year was
Do
this?
not tell me this was last year. When
What part of the East Coast were you? Because I was in the East Coast 3 times last year.
Well, good. Not those little cities. I'm talking about the big
What
city,
part
New
were you
York.
in? Part
The
of New
big
York. What Bronx?
New York
The
downtown,
Bronx?
right by the Stock Exchange. Right, I walked out of the
Right
Stock
by the
Exchange
Bull?
after making $1 million, and they started singing "Don't Stop Believing."
Yep.
And playing the 2014 World Series
Got proof of this?
championship that we won.
We got
I do
proof of
have
this.
proof. Well, I can't because my wife is mad that I went out there late at night. But that's okay.
I have heard of that.
I believe
there's
you.
not a
I've heard
brand.
in New York.
When
New
the
York.
Giants go back there, some fans go to Giants bar.
New
That's
York.
right.
It's
No,
New York.
I've been to them.
Oh, okay.
I've been to them.
Yeah,
I've been to a
they're
New York
massive.
bar.
Okay. And yes, we have turned the corner. We don't give up another run for at least 2 or 3 more days. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jay. No, I know where
You brought
JR is
that
talking
home. That was a
about.
nice job.
That one of his better calls. Probably his best.
That's a good bounce back. He got shelled in his last
Oh,
outing.
yeah, that's right.
Today he went 5 1/3.
He goes as the Giants
7
go.
hits, 3 runs, 2 earned.
Yeah, he goes as the Giants go.
Would you agree, Jay?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Walked 3, struck out 3. A nice outing.
He's still in the game.
Yeah.
He's still in the game.
He gets the W.
That's right.
Good job, JR.
Yeah.
Good job.
And I appreciate that he's helped us all find a place where, we can all habitate some common ground here, right? Jay's good, you're good, I'm good.
Yeah, the ground is the ground.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how common it is, but it's the ground.
Yeah.
Just wait till they get hot. 5 and 8 now.
Well, they're all going to – every team will get hot.
5 and 8. Seriously, I'm not making a joke. 5 and 8 from where they were looks like, man, what a relief, right?
They'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go out, take care of business, get some Old Bay, some crab cakes.
That's a nice win after losing that first game of the series. It's like, oh, man, this is a worst start in Giants history, tied at home. And then you win 2 in a row with 2 shutouts against a good team. Manager of the year, Tony Vitello.
Yeah, our guy Bonte, who he'll be on Friday, says in the most critical inning of this game, the 6th, Vitello outmanaged the dude who led his team to a World Series. That's right, Bonte.
Boy, they're hanging on
Are we
to
still
every
letting Bonte
thread.
come on
yeah,
Friday
I
after
was
that?
thinking about it. I was thinking about just texting him and saying, we're going to pass.
Nah, we got you, Bonte.
Is he posting an orange and black ink? What was that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Nah, we got him. He gets it.
All right. Jennifer Lee Chan's going to join us. Got some things maybe going on with the 49ers. We'll find out when we come back. Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Anova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Anova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SactownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
The more I think about the fact that the NBA has said they're going to look into the foul that Nick Clifford committed last night at the end of the game, 3:15 to go, and how the league is alarmed about potential tanking allegations, the more angry I get, Alan, because it's so you don't have to look into anything. Yeah. Watch the game. You know, that's all you have to look into is here's the end of the game. Watch it. Oh, okay, I see. There's no, and I know it was Shams reporting it. By the way, somebody just came up a little while ago and looked in our window of the door here into the studio, and it might have been Adam Silver, right? You agree? You thought it? I thought
there was
it might,
some
yeah.
resemblance.
Yes,
yeah.
We're going to have to seize all the equipment from the flagship as part of our investigation.
Yeah,
I don't know that it was, but whoever it was, he's very interested about what was going on.
Yes, you don't know that it wasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know that it wasn't. Man, You know what's so interesting? When you have the conversation, as Shams says, they've had to put Doug Christie on blast that it was a mistake, right? Or it was
tactical error.
A practical error.
Not
a tactical error. If they had investigated the net situations where they passed it, what would their explanations, at least the Kings have an explanation, Would their explanations have been
great point.
those players
Yes.
are idiots? Like, what would the explanation have been?
Yeah, I would assume it would have been, well, we just couldn't get the ball in, you know?
Yeah.
On one, we couldn't get the ball in the front court. Knicks defended it so well. And on the Warriors one, that is the Nets play against the Warriors, they probably said, well, whoever it was, Demon or whoever, he was trying to draw a foul there.
Mm-hmm.
Thought there was contact. Thought that the
Right, and that's what we did. We did see that one.
Yeah.
Imagine if the Pelicans had their pick. Jeremiah Fears, you're getting investigated, buddy, because you're taking a layup down 3 with 5 seconds left.
By the way, did you see what he did last night?
What'd he do now?
He cooked a 40 burger.
Oh, well, see.
Which I mentioned because, we've been talking the last couple of days about Maxime. Is he going to be first team? And I know a lot of people around here say, yeah, he has to be. It's going to be close. And one of the guys that would be in competition for maybe the 4th or 5th spot on first team all-rookie would be Jeremiah Fears, and he put up a 40 burger last night.
And I know, when High Flyer comes on, we don't typically have a ton of time because we're, getting ready for the game and it's the last segment and whatnot. But it felt like when he was saying, it would be malpractice if obviously Maxime did not make first team. It felt like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like just based on the numbers, you're preparing yourself if Maxime doesn't get first team on the list of egregious things that have happened in Sacramento, snub-wise, Malik Monk, 6-man, things like that. Feels like you don't think Maxime missing out on first team would be an egregious snub.
Maybe not, but I know a lot of people around here are going to see it that way.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, let's just see how it goes the last few games. I just think it's close, that's all.
Right.
Very close. And it's with the points and the rebounds, he definitely stands out. But with the voters, who knows exactly what they're going to consider? And
this doesn't help Whitey.
The King.
Yeah, you're getting investigated.
Clearly, they're tanking. I mean, we all saw it. The most
Right.
blatant example of tanking ever.
Right. Hey, they did it on a tanking team.
Yeah.
And the Pelicans get protected from being called a tanking team because they don't have their pick. They just stink.
Mm-hmm. And I think, Alan, part of it is just being conditioned to voters kind of not giving the Kings a fair shake sometimes.
Yeah, this is not good timing. This is not, I'm telling you, this investigation might, it sounds silly because one thing has nothing to do with the other, but these voters are human. They've been very open about the fact that they are human and situations matter.
Maxime last night, by the way, 17 points and 7 rebounds. That's pretty solid in 26 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He probably deserves it. I know when we were talking about it yesterday and I was looking at the numbers, I was only looking at points per game, and I'm not saying that's all they should look at or will look at, but it does give you an easily digestible snapshot of
And
what's
he was
going on.
8th.
Yeah, but it's pretty close. There's a drop-off. There's like 3 guys that are like, okay, they're in.
Yeah. And I think the biggest argument for Maxime is Ace Bailey wasn't playing a lot when the Jazz – we're going early on. A lot of these guys started playing more when their teams decided to tank. So it's the same thing with Maxime. Maxime started playing sooner because of injury. But Ace Bailey, maybe he would have played anyway because he was a top pick. But Ace Bailey wasn't playing a lot until the Jazz decided, hey, we're done with Jaren Jackson and we're going to shut those guys down. So a lot of these guys are on bad teams. Now, are they going to get viewed differently than Maxime? They shouldn't, but as we know, typically that is what happens.
If you just go by minutes, Edgecombe is first, most minutes played for any rookie. Knipple is second, Flag third, Jeremiah Fears fourth, Derek Queen, Ace Bailey, Maxime Reynaud is seventh. It's very close. He's like 13 minutes behind Derek Queen. If you go by points per game, it's Flag, Knipple, Edgecombe, Fears, Bailey, Cedric Coward, Maxime Reynaud.
Yeah, I think he
should get in there.
The problem is it's between Cedric Coward, Jeremiah Fears, him. I think there's probably one other guy, but I know it's those 3 right there.
Yeah, I mean Flag, Knipple, and Edgecombe are like, okay, congratulations.
So then you got 2 more spots.
Clear the space on the mantle for that now. But the other 2,
it's tight.
Yeah, he should get in there. because of the double-doubles.
So you would think it would be a snub. You are calling it a snub.
Yeah, but it kind of what I'm expecting, I guess.
Preparing yourself for it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I initially thought that I would feel very snubby about it, but simply because of how these things are being viewed and people do care about points per game. I think he should get it, but I don't know. Because I put a lot into that Rising Stars competition, and who was it? Bryant, who got to play because he was already in the slam dunk. He's already out there. So I spent a lot of energy on the Rising Stars competition. I just don't know how much energy I have to fight it. And I think maybe because he's a second rounder, the fact that he even got or is in a position to get second team all rookie I'm just going to take the win. How about that? I don't really have the energy to argue about a snub, even though it probably should be considered a snub. I'm just going to be happy. And maybe I should be more fiery than that, but we've fought with so much this season. I'm going to take a positive and just go from there.
I mean, it is something where right now we can safely say he's going to be at least second team.
Yes.
That's
what I'm, hey, get snubbed. I think it's also part of, again, narratives and brands. A lot of those guys that you named off, I think, is he the only second rounder even in that conversation?
I believe so.
So he's going to get the same way he got viewed differently for the Rising Stars. He's going to get viewed differently, right or wrong here.
Yeah, Cedric Howard was the 11th pick.
Right. So that's just how it goes. It's not fair, but, you mix that with Sacramento, you mix that with the tanking team, that's a bad cocktail.
So what did you think of this? I know we talked about it earlier, Alan. It's what all Kings fans are dealing with today. Last night after the Kings lost, Draymond Green said, I saw a team tonight foul Seth Curry with 3 minutes to go in a game for no reason in the penalty. The play-in ain't working, but we're going to make the postseason so it works, I guess, end quote. He was talking about the play-in and whether it motivates teams to win games and tanking. And then he said, well, I don't know. And then look at what happened tonight, which just sparked a firestorm on the internet.
This is what he likes. If Draymond is going to leave here with something, and they're probably not winning a championship this season. I don't even know if they go on a decent playoff run. So because of that, he's going to find a different way to stay relevant. And everybody's talking about it. I hate to get on people when they get asked the question. We were talking about the politicking for Maxime and first team all rookie, as well as, Wembanyama. But when guys are asked questions, they have to answer it. Draymond was not directly asked about tanking, though.
Right.
And wanted to take it there, and he did take it there. So that's a smidge different. But he gets paid for his opinion, and he's always on. He's never off. That's just who he is. But,
he was clearly in his defense, I guess, when that foul occurred last night, he was excited about it and agitated, said, oh, that's a take foul. That's a take foul.
Yeah.
And officials clearly told him that is not a take foul. But he did react strongly at the moment it happened.
Yeah, he found the whole thing to be a bit ridiculous. And we'll see. Now, I won't see, but probably come across it on social media, if he does his own research or if he's moved on to the next subject, because Draymond is a smart enough basketball mind that I don't know, how you would look at it to say, hey, the Kings were trying, and he understands how this thing works. So why would the Kings blatantly try to tank in front of everyone?
Right.
That just doesn't make a lot of sense.
What Draymond was saying was, hey, players get fined all the time. They do something wrong, I get fined all the time.
Yeah.
He's saying, you got to find these teams that are tanking. And I take issue with that because he plays for a team that has not been above tanking.
Right.
And he has benefited from that as a member of that team. They tanked to get Harrison Barnes in 2012. Teams tank. It works. Fine. They did that. They tanked the year after Durant left. They were a terrible team that year. and they benefited from that, although they kind of fumbled the opportunity that came with getting the second pick. So don't sit there like these teams need to be fined when your own organization has been guilty of it.
Yeah, maybe
that's disingenuous.
Maybe if you asked Draymond, he'd say that we should have been fined too. That's what he would say. That is actually what he would say now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't matter, but nobody looks at the Warriors like that, Whitey, because they didn't hit on those draft picks. But that's their problem. You know, that's not anybody else's problem. They still try to that's like literally if the Pacers took the fourth pick and it just wasn't a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
It would be literally the same thing. And then the Pacers a couple years later say, man, you got to find these the Pacers are the 9 seed 3 years later, and they say, man, you got to find these tanking teams. Well, no, you tanked. You just didn't take the right player at 4.
This is from Slate's article this afternoon on all of this. It says the Kings have been without nearly all their high-paid veterans during the stretch run, but despite an overarching prioritization of their youth and an organizational understanding that a bottoming out in the final weeks is beneficial, team sources, that is sources with the Kings, were adamant that the coaches and players on the floor had intent to win Tuesday's game, and the late game foul was strictly a tactical error. Proof of that is what happened after that foul. Doug Christie had been playing a group that was playing well together, an unusual group. It was Precious Achiuwa and McDermott and Nick Clifford and your boy Killian Hayes and Dylan Cardwell. They were playing well.
Yeah.
And I believe that group came from behind and was ahead, and it was a great finish here to the game, and they closed very well. And I think Coach Christie recognized these guys don't play that much. I've got this timeout to use. I lose it if I don't use it, and they might need a little rest. Here's my point. They committed the foul, and then they called the timeout. Then they brought the same 5 back out.
Mm-hmm.
If you were trying to tank, you would take out the players that were playing well.
Yeah.
And you would have put somebody else in.
Yeah. And, you know, we saw
Doug
this.
Christie wanted to win that game.
Right. And you saw this on the text line earlier today. And somebody said they were talking about your favorite feature on the broadcast when they show the names under the players, right? The little circle.
Yeah.
And what did that?
It's my favorite thing in the world.
It is. And what did that texter say? I haven't watched a broadcast in a while, and I saw this and I wondered, you know, was it new or is it advancement? Whatever it is. So what's funny to me is, as much as I joke about the juice of it, if you look at if we had NBC Sports, if we had their numbers, Whitey, there is no doubt in my mind that last night's game and Friday night's game, which is about to happen in a couple days, will have more viewers than the games of the last 2 weeks. Maybe not by a ton, but there will be more. And the reason I bring that up is because you have more eyes on you both ways. I do think even from the Warriors' perspective. I had a buddy, you know, recently had a kiddo, so he's on his paternity leave, and he texted me and said, Alan, you know, I'm about to do some tummy time and watch the Kings lose to the Warriors, whatever it is. And he's saying that because it's still Kings Warriors. So I joke about the juice, but I do think there were more eyes on that game. So to do something so egregious in that game makes no sense to me.
The Kings have won 7 of their last 16 games, jumping ahead of the Pacers, the Nets, and the Wizards. We have sat here and we've spent so much time on this show and all the shows here on Sactown Sports talking about how, I know it feels good when they win, but maybe they shouldn't win. You think that's going on in Indiana or Washington or Brooklyn? You think fans are going, we shouldn't be winning these games? No, because they're not winning.
No.
So for the Kings to be the team that's getting singled out, it's just not right.
Remember the clutch points graphic from 2 weeks ago? Are the Kings reverse tanking and ruining their draft order?
Yeah.
That was literally 2 weeks ago.
Memphis has lost 5 in a row. Utah's lost 10 in a row. Brooklyn, by the way, they have won a couple in a row. The Pacers have lost 3 straight, and the Wizards have lost 7 straight. But yeah, let's look at the Kings, and oh my goodness, an egregious act of blatant tanking. It just wasn't.
We'll see what's found in the investigation. That's what we got to see.
It sounds like maybe they're kind of saying, we didn't really find anything. We're good. We'll see.
You think it's done already?
It sounds like maybe it is, based on what Slate's wrote.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of outstanding Bay Area sports reporting, nice enough to join us here. 49er insider for NBC Sports Authentic, Jennifer Lee Chan. Jennifer, how are you today?
I'm good. Just kind of swimming through the off season, wondering what's going to happen next.
I know, and I know you're busy today and you got a lot of stuff going on, so thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Speaking of everything going on, these are just suggestions. I don't even know if they're rumors, but suggestions of 49ers could trade for Myles Garrett. Suggestions they could trade for Dexter Lawrence. Matt Mayoko says, hey, they should swing a deal with Arizona that would net some mid-round picks. Which of those scenarios, Jennifer, if any, are you watching most closely?
Well, the ones that I think are most likely is that they trade around in the draft. They don't have enough money to get Myles Garrett because I asked around, and there is not enough money to get Joey Bosa, who is much less expensive than Myles Garrett at this point. So I do know that that's not going to happen. Would love to have Myles Garrett. Would love to have Joey Bosa, the Bosa brothers together, but they just can't stick out to other players. So I just, I think maybe they trade around some draft picks. But again, with the draft picks, it takes two to tango. So who's going to want to move up for 27 to get more picks? Or I just don't see them moving up and giving away picks for a higher first round pick.
Yeah, Jennifer, last season, we heard some of the conversations about, this is a rebuilding year. We're focused on the draft and we're going to get some young guys and see what happens. Unfortunately, they had some injuries there. Do you feel like this season is going to be different where they're not necessarily trying to use the draft and get a bunch of young guys and build that way versus going out and trying to find some more ready-made vets? Was that just a one-year rebuild deal, or are they going to focus on getting young talent once again versus trades?
I think they're going to do both. I think the trading is over at this point, unless it's, picks through the draft. Unless they can potentially get something for Brandon Ayuk, that's still out there. He's still on the roster. I just don't think there's going to be any more big moves. I think the big move was signing Mike Evans. And when you look at how they added youth to the roster last year and kind of talked about it being a rebuild or a reloading, and then they ended up going into the playoffs. So, higher than expected, I think, expectation-wise, especially considering all the injuries that they had. I think this year they brought in some key pieces that are a little bit older, like Mike Evans and Christian Kirk, but definitely pieces that they needed. That was the hole at wide receiver. So now they need to add some edge rusher power. And although I don't think it will be through a trade with another team or signing another big ticket player, they can definitely get it through the draft. This is a draft where it's heavy in wide receivers and heavy in edge rushers and defensive linemen. It's really deep there, so they can get a good amount of players with the 6 picks they have.
That's Jennifer Lee Chan. We're catching up on the 49ers with her. She, of course, NBC Sports Authentic 49er Insider. Jennifer, will you be going to Australia for the opener? And if so, are you more excited about it than Kyle Shanahan apparently is?
Oh, I'm way more excited than Kyle Shanahan about it. That's for sure. It's kind of one of those things. It's tell me you know football without telling me you know football. And I know this is a fantastic opportunity for Australia, Melbourne. This is a fantastic opportunity for the fans and for media folks like us who get to travel. But it is an awful situation for the team. Logistically, time, body clock wise, just how much time they're going to have to travel. So they have 2 international games, which is just, and it's not like a 2-game sit over in London. It's 2 separate international games. And the fact that they have to go 16 hours on a plane to get to Australia, I think what I've heard is that they're probably going to be over there for about 5 days before the game to try and acclimate their bodies to the local time. The game over there will happen at about 10:30 a.m., which makes it about a 5:30 p.m. Pacific time kickoff, and that'll be the Thursday night opener. And then right after the game, which is their first game of the year, so I would think that's probably the game where guys are the most sore because they haven't really been tackling, they haven't really been hitting anyone. This will be the first game. They have to go sit on a plane for 16 hours to come back home. As exciting as it is for the league, can you imagine playing a full football game, that high contact of a sport, and then going and being in a flying metal tube for 16 hours? That doesn't sound exactly the best for recovery.
Yeah.
And then November 22nd, they have Mexico City, which is at 7,530 feet of altitude. So they've got to go to Colorado Springs for a week and acclimate there. I do know that they blocked the Denver Broncos from being their opponent down there because obviously they practice at altitude. They want to play a team that is also at sea level. I'm hearing that it could be the Miami Dolphins, not confirmed yet, but that's one of the teams that it could be. That's what kind of people are feeling like it's going to be. But I did hear they blocked the Denver Broncos from that game because they don't want another team that's at high altitude normally to go down there and be more prepared than they would be in Mexico City.
Wow, that's chestnut checkers right there.
Yeah,
I like that from the Niners. I can't lie, Jennifer. I'm seeing all these kind of notes on the different wide receivers, and you have to have no block, no rock, and the Niners like a specific
Don't make
type.
fun of that, Alan.
No, the
you're
Niners.
making fun.
No, I'm not making fun of it. And the Niners need a specific
It's
type.
legit. Don't
I know.
make fun of it.
I hear it. Hey, I hear you. And I'm hearing, all these different conversations about wide receivers. You said the big trade conversation may be done for the Niners. What is their appetite for another wide receiver, and what is their appetite to try to find a number one wide receiver if they feel like they don't already have one on the roster?
I think they're pretty happy with the fact that they were able to get Mike Evans for what they got him for and what he can provide. I think that's a position where you can always add to it. I mean, Mike Evans, it came out that was 3 years for $1 bajillion. But ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's a 1-year deal for both Mike Evans and Christian Kirk. So they can get out of those deals after a year. So adding a guy to the draft is absolutely something that they can do, especially with the fact they've got 6 picks, number 27, number 58, and then 4 in the 4th round that are really close. This draft is deep with wide receivers, a lot of talent there, so they could add to their roster with a young wide receiver. I just don't think they're going to pick up another one. Another conversation that's kind of interesting is that Juwan Jennings hasn't been picked up yet. Now, I don't think the 49ers go back to Juwan Jennings, but I think it's interesting that he hasn't been signed to a team yet.
Local pro day for the 49ers. Jennifer Lee Chan, anything stand out about that today?
I actually, unfortunately, could not make it. I did just talk to Matt Mayoka, my colleague, and he said, this is where the 49ers do their homework, right, for undrafted free agents. And they've found a lot of them. I mean, you look at the running backs that they've had. I mean, I don't think anyone that's a 49ers fan wants them to draft a running back ever again. But, this is where they get them. They find Kyle Shanahan, his dad, Mike Shanahan, are known for finding undrafted free agent running backs who end up becoming legit running backs. I mean, there's been so many. And so this is where they can find them. And it happens at the local pro days, guys that don't necessarily get invited to the combine, don't have a huge pro day. This is a great time for the 49ers to kind of do some research on some guys, get their hands on them. The coaches are out there, the coaching staff. A lot of new faces on the coaching staff. So those guys are out there and they can take notes on how a guy is coachable, whether he listens, how fast they are when they see him face to face, get hands on a player, really. So local pro days are always valuable to the coaching staff.
Now, Jennifer, you mentioned how the big trade conversation might be cooling down for now. Does that mean that Niners fans can feel safe that Mac Jones will be back with the red and gold next season?
Yes, I don't think that there was a true legit trade partner for Mac Jones, and the 49ers really wanted to get their money's worth from him. So, you're not going to see them move on from Mac Jones unless it's someone who's going to a team that's going to offer a few draft picks for them. And, you look across the league and there are only a handful of teams that don't have a starting quarterback on their roster already. And there's, the other ones that are going to draft one. So when the numbers game kind of comes out, there's very few teams that are going to want to trade for a player that, they don't necessarily need. Mac Jones did an excellent job for the 49ers. I know they want to keep him because, look at what's happened in the past. They've had a lot of injuries. They've dealt with a lot of injuries. So they want to make sure they have substantial, legit backups. Mac Jones is one of them. So they're not going to let him go unless it's for a decent amount of compensation.
Informative and fun. JLC, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Talk to you soon.
Yes, Jennifer Lee
Thank
Chin. Yeah.
No block, no rock.
Chastising Ellen
No,
style.
whoa.
Don't make fun of it. It's legit.
It's legit, all right.
You don't listen to Jay. You don't listen to me. Are you going to listen to Jennifer Lee Chin?
JLC.
I will always listen to Jennifer Lee Chin. No block, no rock. Oh, I love it. I love it. Got to block, guys. Got to block.
You know, if you could have blocked a little better, I think you might be in the league.
You know what? That's what it's coming down to.
Just a little better.
I hit that curveball a little better. That's all it took, guys. Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started.
What was the one thing, if there was one thing that kept you out of advancing even further in your distinguished pro career, what was it?
I mean, I had to steal more bags.
Yeah?
Yeah. I had to steal more bags. I should have been more aggressive.
You being serious?
Yeah, Jay.
Really?
I mean, I think so. I think for the prototype that I was, I didn't do enough of that type of stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Jay?
Thought you were going to say power.
No, because I think that for example,
he
what's his
wanted
name?
to be Juan Pierre.
Yeah.
He thought he was going to be Juan Pierre.
You know our guy.
Juan Pierre hit 30 home runs one year, right?
Yeah, no, I could. No. I needed the velocity. You know what I mean? You know, they provide the power, but what's his name? Chandler Simpson on the Rays, right? I mean, that guy is a blazer. You know, I think I was a version of a tweener. You see what I'm saying?
Tweener between what and what?
That's what we're still trying
Fast
to figure
and
out.
slow?
No. I mean, power, gap to gap.
I got you, yeah.
Gap to gap versus leadoff guy. You know, because I had a little pop in it.
I know you. I mean, you had both you guys had really
doubles
really
guy,
nice
Jay.
careers. Yeah,
doubles guy, Jay.
That boy gap to gap.
Well,
hit in the gap and run.
That's why you couldn't steal more. You had too many doubles.
I'm already there.
Steal third.
Yeah, I'm already there.
We've got a cold, hard look at where the Kings are, where they need to be, and how they get there this offseason when we come back to Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
I need a little range, step to the range, come on, meet me at the
Introducing the new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club Sandwich. With that juicy Chick-fil-A chicken on a buttermilk ranch bun, jalapeno ranch sauce, and pickled jalapenos, it's a little ranch with a lot of kick. The new Chick-fil-A Jalapeno Ranch Club with original spicy or grilled filet. Available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
When your check engine light comes on, do you see a repair bill or do you see peace of mind? For 20 years, CarShield's been the name America trusts to help keep you on the road. While other companies stop covering you when your car gets older, CarShield offers protection plans up to 200,000 miles. With over $1 billion in claims paid, we don't just promise protection, we deliver it. Don't let a breakdown break your budget. Get the flexible month-to-month coverage you deserve. Go to carshield.com. That's carshield.com today.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way.
That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Tax-free edition only. Roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. Now this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at turbotax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
The Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Cold, hard look at where the Kings are, where they need to be, how they get there this offseason. Some of the questions we've been throwing around have been answered, at least by Keith Smith. We're going to look at those in just a moment here with the Drive Guys. I have to ask you guys if you've ever experienced anything like this before we get back to the Kings. Last night, we, three of us and Chris Verlaud went to see at the Punchline, Frank Caliendo. Frank, they set us up, and Frank was nice enough to talk to us after the show. And then Alan and Chris and I went to dinner at Pete's, right? That's where we went.
Yes, sir.
And I had, we had sandwiches and I had a soda. Mm-hmm. And then you get inside the Punchline, and I had a couple more sodas.
Yes.
And I was thinking, man, I'm going to be awake all night because I've had so much soda. I got home, my head hit the pillow, out!
Knocked out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a long night.
I had a lot of caffeine.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not going to sleep much tonight. Out! Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of laughing, burning a lot of energy.
I guess so, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
And, and you had a lot of, how do I say this, Jay? A lot of brain power. Used with
that's probably,
with that joke that Frank.
Oh, well, that joke, it was a setup for him.
That he very much hated.
He didn't like it.
No.
Yeah, I know he didn't like it. I'm not going to say it wasn't good, but I know he didn't like it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it.
No, I'll say it because I'm proud of it. It was good. I said, Frank, you just finished your show and everything. I'm not saying you should do it, but hey, what about, this could be something you could do. What about Morgan Freeman going to the multiplex to pick up George Bush after George Bush has just seen a Harry Potter movie for the first time?
Right.
Frank says, oh, don't worry, I won't do it.
No.
And Jay looked at me and said, where did you come up with that?
Yeah. We were all just kind of standing there nodding our heads thinking, if Frank likes it, we like it. If not, we are out.
He did not care for it. This morning when he was on Carmichael Davis' show, he said, that was like the worst idea I've ever heard.
I heard some of that. I heard some
they
of
spoke
that.
on it?
Yes.
Who brought it up?
Frank.
No, you know who brought it up.
Oh,
CV?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to throw you right under that bus.
I got to tell you, Jay, at one point, they were talking about last night since Chris Verlaud came with us, and Dave says, oh, so you probably just like you were in an autograph line, and then you said, hey, and he said, oh, thanks for coming. And that was all you talked to him. That was what that's what Dave
said.
A legal screen.
You're just a hater.
So anyway,
a guy who had someone on the show that wasn't even in the building.
Exactly. Yeah. That was the other thing Frank kept talking
He lost.
about.
No, he lost. They're not getting
to
Frank.
Dave, and he's not there, right?
They're not getting Frank again.
Yeah.
Not in the building. Hey, Dave, if you can't be in the building, I can't be in the building. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be flip-flopped. We get Frank in the building.
Yeah.
You can, throw out some more ideas.
Well,
more
the nice
setups.
thing about that from Frank's standpoint, he's got the show tonight in San Francisco. Coming on here, it doesn't really help him sell any tickets for tonight, but he did it anyway because it's like, oh, the station's been good to me and Dave's done stuff.
Yeah.
So how cool is that?
It is cool.
Yeah.
It would have been nice for him to, see Dave in person.
For Dave to show up.
Yeah, for Dave to show up.
Yeah.
Wayne Jones.
Although Dave at one point dropped out, and Frank, as Jim Rome said, this show just got a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, on track.
Yeah,
hitting breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Where was Dave at?
He's in New York, I think.
Oh, he's in the NY?
Yeah.
Hopefully he's visiting one of those Giants bars.
Should be there.
There's so many, Jay.
There's tons.
You could be there like a month and visit a different one every day.
Every day, White.
Yeah.
With JR. With JR.
Your guy, Keith Smith.
Mm-hmm. That is my guy.
Yeah. Who may or may not have gotten into some hot water. I don't know. We don't need to go there, Alan. I don't know why you
Good
brought that up.
times.
Yeah.
Good times.
He has on us Spot Track a breakdown of the Kings offseason preview. This was interesting because he said something about a player that we talk about a lot that's kind of against at least what I've been saying. Quote, of the free agent group, maybe Killian Hayes could be brought back if the team's tax issues clear up enough to fit him under the tax line. Precious Achiuwa, Drew Eubanks, Doug McDermott, Russell Westbrook have no place on a rebuilding team. All four should not be back and replaced with younger developmental options, end quote. I just, we do that a lot, and I know I always kid you about Precious Achiuwa, but Keith Smith says, he has no place on a rebuilding team and should not be brought back.
Yeah, I mean, once you get, it's the same thing. And
I'm not on board with that, Alan.
Well, I know they're different players, and we had this conversation because people were going back and forth about the idea that age 26, Whitey, he turns 27 in September, Precious Achiuwa. If you ask 10 people about age 26 in the NBA, I actually think you'd get a lot of different answers. A lot of people look at that age 26 differently. Some people look at it as an age where you can still grow into something. Some people look at it as, hey, you kind of are who you are. For me, you could look at it a couple different ways, Whitey. You could look at it under the guise of he's going to be expensive or more expensive, so there's no reason to bring him back and pay that money. But yeah, I understand why it might make you feel a little bit queasy when the other names mentioned are Drew Eubanks, Doug McDermott, and Russell Westbrook. Drew Eubanks, if he's not 30, I know he's pretty close to it. And then obviously Doug McBuckets and Russell Westbrook, we know where they're at in their careers. So I can understand why it probably makes you a little, that doesn't feel right to throw Precious in there. But I don't know. It's less about, to me, and we're going to talk to Keith before the week is over. If it's about him as a player, then I would probably push back on Keith as well. If it's about him as a contract, then I understand what he's saying. The only other part of it, Whitey, is we've seen Precious as well against these bad teams or when you're in tank mode. If Keith is talking about tanking again, I could kind of understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, and he definitely is. He says the Kings project to hit the summer dancing around the first apron, and he says they can't get caught in a series of quick fix attempts. They've tried that before, and it's never really worked out. Basically, he's saying Alan Stiles needs to stop talking about the hybrid rebuild because it's a terrible idea.
I never said it was a good idea.
I know you didn't.
Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. And what's so interesting is when Keith says they have to hit on their draft pick. Do you know if you hit on your draft pick after a year? Now, obviously, Cooper Flagg, that's a hit.
Well, if you end up with a really high pick, you should.
But I always go back to that fateful year of Michael Carter-Williams winning Rookie of the Year. I think a lot of people thought the Sixers hit there. That didn't end up being the case.
You're right. There are exceptions, but I think for the most part, if you're drafting at the very top of a draft, especially when it's a draft that is highly regarded, you should know after the first year, okay, this is a guy.
Okay, but listen here, though.
I'm listening.
We can go straight to the roster right now. That's how a lot of people felt about Keegan Murray. First year.
No. No.
You talking about a dude or you talking about an NBA player?
I'm talking about a dude. I mean, I think
After
with this team, we're
year?
talking about if you get one of the top 3 picks in this draft, maybe top 4, in 1 year, you should have a pretty good idea. Oh, yeah, he's what we thought.
Okay.
There are exceptions, But when you're talking about the really elite guys, and the Kings hope to land one, you should have an idea.
Wow. Well, now I got to come up with a list of guys that took a little bit longer. Brunson?
Brunson was not at the top of the...
Don't worry, I'll find one.
I don't think you disagree with me. That's why
I don't want to agree with you.
I know that. I understand that, and I see it, and I've seen it before.
I'll find a way.
Mm-hmm. Don't you think, Jay? Honestly, Marvin Bagley. After 1 year, the Kings kind of thought, there were definitely some questions after 1 year.
Definitely some questions.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Mm-hmm. It was kind of, I don't want to say second guessing, but they definitely had a big gulp. Like, oh man, what did we get ourselves into?
Although I think that's when Matt George did his double down thing.
Yeah. In front of the dumpsters.
Yeah. I know you've got something. We'll come back with that. Also, we'll come back on what Keith Smith says the Kings have to do with Zach LaVine this offseason. Next on Sactown Sports.
Live and local.
With everything 49ers.
Intercepted by Fred Warner. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco! Bob Paul George went up and caught
The 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume.
Since taking Hair Volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using Hair Volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
Welcome to the SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament.
Here we come!
6 crucial games to determine which teams make the NBA playoffs.
They're headed to the playoffs. Let's go!
And which teams watching from home.
That's game!
With the stakes so high, every possession of every game means everything. Yeah! The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, but you've got to win to get in.
Yes, sir!
The SoFi NBA Play-In Tournament, April 14th through the 17th, only on Prime.
Your business moves fast. Your bank should keep up. At Valley Strong Credit Union, business banking is built for momentum with tools that help you manage cash flow, streamline payments, and fuel growth. Right now, there's never been a better time to switch. Open a new Valley Strong business account and get 3 months of business banking products and services free, up to $750 in value to power your next big move. Because when your business runs stronger, the whole Valley does too. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future at valleystrong.com/business.
Capital Casino is conveniently located in downtown, 411 16th Street, and has been a part of the greater Sacramento area for over 20 years. They offer the best variety of games in the region in a safe and friendly environment, and there's plenty of parking, all well lit and monitored by security. Come have a great meal at the cafe and restaurant inside. Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. But please always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Keith Smith from Spotrac breaks down the Kings offseason. here's how he sees the Zach LaVine situation, which I mentioned because we talked about this a lot yesterday. Alan and I were debating the pros and cons of stretching Zach LaVine, and I think the vast majority of Kings fans we heard from said, no, please don't do that. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that.
Yes.
And I think you said you would not do it.
You would think about it.
Yeah, I realize now the folly of that line of reasoning. Here's what Keith Smith says. Zach LaVine is likely to opt in. LaVine won't get offers that approach the $48.9 million player option he holds for next season. Veteran shooting guard also is not quite to the point where he should be focused on years over dollars either. Picking up that sizable option for next season, then seeing where things are at a year from now is the sensible path for Zach LaVine.
Yeah. So he wouldn't accept, he would honestly just say no.
That's what Keith Smith says.
Because here's the one thing we haven't talked about, Whitey. And I don't know if the Kings are trying to be in the tank conversation next season. Even if they're not trying to hybrid rebuild, they still have vets. Because if you're Zach LaVine, we might not think that he's going to get paid $49 million a year again or a crazy contract, but he is trying out now for another contract. So assuming he exercises his option and he's coming back to the Kings, he's going to be pretty motivated, right? He's going to be fairly motivated to get another contract and try out and show what he can do for his next team. So I don't know. Obviously, if there's a partner, a trade partner that's interested, cool. But outside of that, Zach LaVine could come into the building with the mindset of, no, I'm trying to play as many minutes as I can. I'm trying to, be a fringe all-star, whatever I can be, because now he's looking at his next contract.
Unless he tries to force their hand. I'm not saying he would do this. A lot of players do this. I'm not accusing him of anything, especially because he hasn't, whatever it is, he hasn't done it yet one way or the other. But, if he were trying to force their hand, force his way to, well, I was going to say if he was trying to force his way somewhere else. But, I mean, if there was some other interested party, I'm sure the Kings he wouldn't need to force their hand. They'd be more than willing to move on from him. Keith Smith says that's not the best path for the Kings, but it is what it is. If nothing else, LaVine will provide some scoring as a sizable expiring contract that could be used in a trade. With DeMar DeRozan and the $25.7 million that he's owed, Sacramento has some measure of control. Kings can waive DeRozan and would be on the hook for just $10 million. Doing so would bring Sacramento under the first apron and within striking distance of getting out of the tax entirely.
So if the Kings waive DeMar and have to pay him the $10 million, I know I've seen it so many times now on Spa Track that he's owed $14 million in January. Is it just a matter of, hey, if no other team picks him up, he just wouldn't get that money?
If no one picks up the contract?
Yeah, if he gets waived and he's saying the Kings only owe the $10 million because it's non-guaranteed.
Yeah.
He just wouldn't get that money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Given the team should be rebuilding, DeRozan has no place on a rebuilding team. Waiving the veteran wing should be the way this goes. So, Scott Perry in the Sacramento front office should be working to find deals, according to Keith Smith. And Keith Smith is really well-versed when it comes to capology. So that's one reason we pay so much attention to his opinions. He says Sacramento front office should be working to find deals for Domantas Sabonis, Malik Monk, and DeAndre Hunter in that order.
Well, I understand it. I mean, DeAndre Hunter, he hasn't played. He is expiring, right? The Malik Monk is still interesting to me. And Domantas Sabonis, we understand, he's the one that you're hoping to get some value back for. But I think early on, Keith said they really shouldn't be tripping too much off value. Just clear the books.
The Kings don't need to give Sabonis away, but the main goal in moving him would be to get off his contract, not necessarily maximizing their return in a trade.
Crazy.
But that's stickier than it sounds, as you have pointed out, because you got to take something back.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody else like Toronto to go, okay, we're just going to give you a salary dump for somebody who's been one of your best players. And then you don't really improve your cap situation that much to do that anyway.
Right. If you if you believe in Maxime that much, and the other thing is too, if you have two, it's more about the years, right, Whitey? Because now you're looking for two expiring contracts that equal about $40 million.
Yes.
That doesn't seem terribly easy to do. Now there is someone. I'm trying to see how many years is left for him.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Whitey. I'm just saying.
Yeah. What are you saying, Al?
Look, apparently
what do you got, Lair?
Apparently you could just sit him on the bench anyway. Jordan Poole will be expiring next season. No. He's expiring, though, Whitey.
The Kings sign him. I'm going to be expiring.
No, but you don't have to play. You can do whatever. That's $31.8 million. You add somebody else. He's expiring, is my point. You have to find over $40 million of expiring money. So you're not he's very used to just chilling on the bench anyway. I don't know if you even play him, right? Whatever.
So you trade him to New Orleans? I don't know if New Orleans would want Domas.
Yeah, they got Queen, and they still have Misi, and they still have Kevon Looney.
I don't think they'd be.
I'm looking for expiring heavy expiring contracts. That's what I'm looking for.
I know that would just be wonderful for you if Jordan Poole were here. You'd be so happy. But I think it's a dream you're going to have to give up.
Okay. Add him and Kevon Looney, both expiring.
Loon Dog!
Still wouldn't be enough because Domas is making $42. Jordan Poole and Kevon Looney would be $39 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Both expiring, though. And, you get Maxime to learn from Kevon Looney, rebounding the basketball. Come on, Whitey.
Given Hunter's past as a productive rotation player on good teams, Sacramento should not have to pay to get off his deal either. If the Kings can't move Hunter, they can keep him and let his deal have value as an expiring contract through the 2027 trade deadline. Of the players coming back, the rest are on reasonable contracts or potential court pieces. Keegan Murray's new deal will kick in. If the Kings move on from some others, Murray will be given every chance to do more in a bigger role. Keith Smith.
You know what this turns into? And Kyle just popped in here, Kyle Ledbetter, because he loves doing this as far as now this trade is worth this, and I can hear it now, Whitey.
He just put up what did he put up?
130, I think.
Yeah.
I can hear it now. You know where this is going. There's going to be somebody keeping count out there, and you find some expiring contracts for Domantas Sabonis, and somebody's going to say, so what you're telling me is the Kings lost Tyrese Halliburton for some expiring contracts. And they're not wrong. I'm just trying to figure out where the Kings went wrong with Domantas Sabonis' value, because my first thought, as I throw it to you, is that I don't know that they did anything wrong. The market and the league just changed.
Well, if it came to that, then, and I always do that too, look at, you have this asset, you converted it into what? If it comes to that, it's a scenario that you just described. One thing you have to take into account is the Kings did get a playoff berth out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, I know.
Hey,
I'm not saying, it was a great deal, but I'm just saying you can't just overlook that.
You do that every time someone gets mad at you, just play G-Man.
That's how it is in Sac. It's lit.
Just play G-Man, play Scott Moak every time.
Yeah.
Somebody says
Sac.
Every time you think about Tyrese Halliburton, just play G-Man.
It will be lit in Sacramento.
This speaks to the importance of having Scott Perry here for a long time so one person can put something together rather than you're dealing with a couple different visions concurrently that don't actually fit together well, and you have to try to make reason out of that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I know Keith Smith's trade machine on SpaTrack, I think they're working on it right now, but they dropped it.
Working on that for a long time.
Well, they had it, and then I think they wanted to rework it, but it's much more intuitive than Fanspo. Because I'm thinking if we can.
What's wrong with the ESPN trade machine?
I've done it like once. I'm either on Fanspo or.
Okay. But seriously, what's wrong with it?
I don't know.
Oh.
I haven't.
No, I mean, why don't you do that, or why?
I just like Fanspo.
Oh, okay.
I like it in dark mode.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just used to it.
Okay.
I'm just used to it. But I'm trying to I got to ask ChatGPT, find me all the expiring contracts for next season and try to cook up something for Domas. Because we might be looking at, if you really want to move on from Domas, honestly, Whitey, we might be looking at a 3-teamer to try to find at least two guys around $40 million that are expiring.
Most of that makes, I think, from where I am anyway, a ton of sense. Most of what Keith Smith wants to do. The frustrating thing to me from a fan standpoint is a lot of these moves are absolutely necessary, but they don't move the needle in terms of excitement. It's like, yeah, you got to get out from under the luxury tax and the apron, create some cap space. Really? Yawn. And that underscores how vitally important it is for them to get lucky and convert and make the most out of this draft opportunity.
But we have no control over that.
No, but it's really important in terms of getting your fan base engaged next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Because
we traded Domas. We got freeing up some cap space. Oh. But look, we got AJ Debonsa. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And I think it's that simple. Even if you do drop this, going back to the idea of winning some of these games that didn't matter, do what you just did, Whitey, and say Kingston Flemings. I think Kings fans are going to say, really, another guard when we lost Tyrese Halliburton and Davion? And
Kings fans don't talk that way, Alan.
Some do.
Oh, like that?
Yeah. Well,
gee, Mickey.
Well, I don't know why they're goofy. 31 years, guys, a Goofy movie came out 31 years ago. Best Disney movie ever.
I don't know what that is.
A Goofy movie?
I don't know what that is.
Come on, Whitey. Hey, chat. Hey, text line. Come on, get on Whitey, man. A Goofy movie?
The best Disney movie ever?
For me.
Okay, so you're talking about all the classic musical Disney movies and going back to like
Jay, come on, you know a Goofy movie.
A Goofy
know about
movie?
it. Yes.
Okay.
Come on, man.
That's the best one?
You got homework this weekend, Whitey.
Have you not seen this movie?
I don't
Never
think
heard
I
of it?
have.
I'll watch Shawshank if you watch a Goofy movie.
No. Pass.
Come on.
Is it a kids movie? Is it short?
It's a kids movie.
It's a kids movie.
It's an hour and a half.
It's got some seasoning on it, Jay.
In what form?
It's got Tevin Campbell.
Okay.
You know?
Did it inspire a ride? The best Disney movies inspire rides.
Look at the text line going crazy right now.
I think it did have like something to do with something at the park.
I got to read these texts when we get back.
Okay.
Max, shouts out to Max.
Shout out Max. A Goofy movie, man.
We may not be able to do that when we come right back because Jason Jones is going to join us. But I'm sure he'll be on your side too.
Oh, he will be.
Yeah, and we're going to find out from him because he's witnessed the lottery.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any way it could be tampered with? We find out next on Sactown Sports. Yup.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's tax time, y'all. If you want to file free, this next one's for you.
Now taxes is so free. Terrible tax, free edition only, roughly 37% of filers qualify. Simple form 1040 returns only. How this is tax.
Love that jam. Up next, commercials.
Intuit TurboTax Free Edition. See if you qualify at TurboTax.com/free. No schedules except for earned income tax credit, child tax credit, student loan interest, and Schedule 1A.
Spring is here, and there's really nothing better than hitting the open road in a new Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings, plus get top dollar for your trade. And while life's roads are often filled with bumps, buying from Stockton Honda couldn't be smoother. Wherever the road you travel might lead, Stockton Honda is happy to get you there. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to power your progress, so you can give everything you've got, all for just 1 cent down. Whether you want to get the most out of our best-in-class equipment or go all in with free fitness training, our trainers are ready to help you get stronger than ever before. Take your workout to the next level at Planet Fitness. Join the club today for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th. You ready? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit barnoneauction.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Got a special guest joining us here. Before we do, Alan, just as we went to break, said something about the Goofy movie.
Oh, yeah.
Is turning 30. And there are some people there. Vincent Ramirez. Goofy movie was the 90s. Logical Raptors fanatic. That movie was my favorite.
Everybody likes a Goofy movie.
Best Disney movie ever, huh?
For me.
Yeah.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, but I don't know how you put it best. But I feel what you're saying.
That's
it did have a little sauce to it, though. It was a little sauce.
It did.
It wasn't bland. It wasn't, Alice in Wonderland and that.
That's a classic, Jay.
Yeah, that was bland, though.
Doesn't our next guest, doesn't he cover pop culture?
He does.
Yeah. Former beat writer for the Kings and the Sacramento Bee. We welcome back Jason Jones to the show. How are you, Jason?
Actually, hold on. We just lost him. I just looked up and he must got a phone call or something.
Go on. I think he said, I'm not talking about the Goofy movie.
Yeah, Brick Ripsaw says, Goofy movie is for children. Yes, Brick, I watched it when I was a child. But I watch it now, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Whitey's going to watch it.
Yeah. All right, he's back. One and only Jason Jones. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
We're doing fine, and I hate to ask you about this, but we just brought you on, and it came up, and I know you write about culture. Alan Stiles says the Goofy movie is the best Disney movie ever. I leave it to you to comment on that, and if you don't want to, we'll just move on.
I'm terrible with Disney movies. I have 3 kids, and I don't watch Disney movies, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
All right.
Okay. Look, it's throwback. Okay, 31 years old. Tevin Campbell. All right, you guys, I'm on myself on this one.
31 years ago, I was in middle school, I think. Or no, I was in high school by then.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah, he wasn't watching Goofy movies.
Okay, hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
We will fire it up, Jason. We'll fire it up when we get some time, Jason.
I was trying to watch stuff I had no business watching even then.
No, I hear you on that. And I know. Trust me.
Last thing I wanted to see was a Disney movie.
So, Jason, let's start here. Obviously, you have a history in the NBA. Where are you at with this tanking talk stuff? Is it just too much? Because it feels like the NBA is focusing maybe a little too much on the tank talk. Can we get back to ball? Can we get back to basketball, Jason?
I think the play-in made it worse. Because now if you're going to tank, you really better make sure you tank. Because you don't want to be in that 10th spot and, your players have some pride and oops, now we're in the playoffs.
Yeah. Right.
I think it had the opposite effect. They thought that, you know what, if we give these bottom teams a chance to still get in, maybe they'll, want to fight their way up. But if you're like a 18-21 team, you're pretty bad anyway. And I've always felt like 82 games is plenty games to know who the top 8 teams are. You don't need to incentivize, even you look back in the East, isn't Charlotte in the top 8 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So even a team like that started really bad, the Clippers, a team that started really bad, still had enough time to recover. So I don't know what you do because I don't care how many fines you put on it or whatever. If you're Utah's been trying this for a minute.
Yep.
And they can't get the number 1 pick for anything. But they've been trying for a while to end up there. I don't know what you can do. Yeah, you can find a team, but do you really want to create a system where now you have teams that, I don't know, say the Warriors are, don't make the playoffs. Do you want to now weigh it to where now the Warriors can jump up to number 1 way easier?
Yeah.
I don't know what if the Clippers were to miss the playoffs and get the number 1 pick? I mean, I think I don't know what you do. I mean, because these teams aren't dumb. They're going to figure something out. And the best way to tank, honestly, is just to field an uncompetitive team.
Yeah.
I think, you can talk about, guys will get hurt and all that. But if you just field a team that's not very good and during training camp this team isn't good, that team's not going to make the playoffs. And as long as you have a system that is based on the worst teams picking first, I don't know what you can really do about it. I just think that now there's no teams used to back in the day pretend they weren't. No one's pretending.
Right.
And Indiana's not going to, Brooklyn, Indiana, poor Sacramento wins games and their fans get mad. And I've always felt like the lottery should be enough to disincentivize tanking because you're not guaranteed anything. You're just not. I mean, you can have the worst record in the league and pick 5th.
Yeah, that's, I think.
And usually, and even I'll add this too, a lot of times you're a bad team for a reason. So even if you get a top 3 pick, there's a good chance you could still mess it up.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing that happened to the league when they flattened the odds and said, all right, if you have the worst record, you only get a 14% chance at the first pick. And team said, well, if that's the best shot we get, we'll take it. And it just ruined everything the league, unintended consequences, have been trying to accomplish. Jason Jones, nice enough to join us. One of the reasons we wanted to bring you on, Jason, we're looking ahead to the lottery, and we all fall into that narrative of, oh, it's rigged, the lottery's rigged, and maybe the Kings will get a little help from the league because they haven't been tanking and blah, blah, blah. But I think you came on with this after the lottery last year, and I believe you said you've witnessed it and you can't tamper with it. And if I'm right about that, I was hoping you could explain that to people and explain how you can't really rig the thing based on what you've seen.
Yeah, I was in the room, I believe, the 2018, the Marvin Bagley year. And so we're in the room, they take your phones, everything, and then you sit there and literally watch the ping pong balls, and it's based on number combinations. Every team is assigned X amount of combinations. And if I remember correctly, Phoenix came up first that year, and then Phoenix came up 2 or 3 more times, then Sacramento came up or something like that. And so we're all sitting, and it's funny, the lottery is done a good 45 minutes, maybe an hour before you actually see it on TV. So I'm in there with the Kings GM just talking, because I'm talking to them assuming, hey, either you're going to get DeAndre Ayton or Luka. So you got to be pretty happy.
Wow.
I'm thinking to myself, they can't screw this up. They've got... This is essentially a 2-3 player draft, and I'm like, at that point, De'Aaron's really young. You're not going to take Trae Young, so it's like, okay, either you get the center or you get Luka. I'm like, you can't mess this up. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
wow. Yeah, Yeah. Based on the way they do it, they can't reach in and pull out the cold envelope, and then wow, the Withers get the first pick. It's not like that. And we sat in there and watched the whole thing.
There you go, Alan.
Hey, I mean, well, here's the other part of it. Even if, right now, Jason, you got documentaries for everything. And the content is king. And we got media members beefing with each other. It's the real media members of Hollywood, whatever you want to call it. If you're Adam Silver, because there's a chance now with the Mavericks losing these games, they could come up again. If you're Adam Silver, and it's been a kind of tough year for him, wouldn't you just find a way to, it doesn't even have to be entertaining though, Jason, but just find a way to televise it and I guess maybe curb some of the conversations of the tinfoil hat conspiracies? Any way to do that or any reason to do that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't think it'll ever happen. I just don't see how, they pay a lot of money to Ernst & Young, whoever they pay to handle all this. I don't see them ever televising it. Because even then, even if you televise it, someone's going to say there's a conspiracy theory behind it. It'll be like, we don't know. There will be some conspiracy no matter what. But I think given you've got a coach currently not coaching over gambling stuff, I mean, you've got the thing with the Clippers and Kawhi. You got all this stuff going on. I think it would make Adam Silver's life much easier if Dallas does not get the first pick.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone's made a trade with the Lakers this year. So a big one. So that team should not be picking first.
Right.
I mean, Atlanta made a small trade. So they're in the. But Atlanta has New Orleans' pick, right? So, I mean, maybe Atlanta will get to be the conspiracy winner, and they'll move up in number one. I mean, for Adam Silver's sanity, he needed to be like Washington, Sacramento, Indiana. He needs some combination of those teams in the top five. If it's anything else, it'll be fun with the tinfoil will be selling like crazy. Everyone will be figuring out how in the world did Golden State or Portland, how did one of these teams go to number one? He needs the Kings to pick no lower than fifth. He needs all of the other teams that are really, really bad to be in that mix too, just to kind of keep things quiet. Because to me, the biggest issue with all this tanking is that what you also get besides these bad games. You get Bam Adebayo scoring 83 against a G League team. And that's the other unintended, or maybe it is, thing people don't think about just the wins and losses, but it's altering the record books. And that's no shade at Bam, but Bam was not playing an NBA. When you play the Wizards, you're not playing an NBA team at this point. That's a team that traded for 2 All-Stars and neither one of them are playing. It's probably in terms of PR is probably the worst stretch for Adam Silver that he's had.
Jason Jones, nice enough to join us. And as Alan pointed out, everyone's talking about tanking and people are looking for different angles on it. And I really appreciate the angle you took because I know you wrote for The Athletic. You took a look at some of the most blatant examples of tanking we've seen through the years. So, Jason, the tanking the Kings did at the end of 2016, was that as blatant as anything we've seen from anybody this year?
Close. I mean, telling your best players to not get on the plane and not tell the coach. That was top tier because you get on the road and you hear it's like, where's DeMarcus? Where's Rondo? They're not here. And then you find out George didn't even know they weren't. He gets on the plane, he's looking for them. I mean, that was by far one of the weird. Me and George, we had this weird dynamic anyway where he felt like I loved the players and didn't trust him, and so anytime I asked him a question about the players, he would get snarky with me anyway. So that last game, we just had this random stare down during shoot around because I had written this story saying he was going to get fired. And so he's just looking at me, I'm looking at him, and then we talked 4 years later, and he told me he always liked me, though. But he felt like the Kings PR staff conspired to make us enemies. And I'm like, I don't quite remember it like that. I remember you getting mad at me over a few things.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember the PR staff conspiring, but yeah, that was a weird. That was amongst the many weird ones, we've seen. And like even this season, Jaren Jackson gets traded. They pull Jaren Jackson from that game. They're leading, they lose, and the league gets mad. Utah goes, guess what, Jaren? Your knee's hurt. You're out for the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, like I said, the Wizards trade for Anthony Davis, and it's pretty much understood he won't play.
Yeah.
It's like there's not even a question of when's he going to debut. It's like take your pictures for social media, for our social media page. We'll see you in the fall. I mean, it's not even. I mean, they don't have to hide it. It just gets teams have to get more and more creative. What was it? I've seen games where at the last 2 games of the year, it's like a competition and rule guys out with injury.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That same trip where they left the guys at home. By that time, the funny part about that was there was a 2-game trip. The last game is in Houston. Some of the other vets go, "Why are we playing?" So they basically tell Rudy Gay he doesn't have to play. Like they were down I think to 7 or 6 players. Mm-hmm. And then Eric Moreland sprained his ankle. It was like, oh my God, what do we do? Eric, you got to figure something. It gets really bad. Mm-hmm. And if I were a fan who bought a ticket, you understand late in the year, you don't know what you're going to get. But to go to a game and to see a team somehow find a way to have 8 injured players, 9 injured players, but then again, what was Milwaukee was playing a team like that with a bunch of two-way guys.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee got blown out. So to me, that's a form of tanking when your team just quits. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And to me, that might be another blatant example of, you hate your coach. And I saw a lot of that too. You hate your coach. Guys figure out how not to play when they don't like the coach. And you can't convince me that Milwaukee couldn't beat a team of G League 2-way guys and guys who were half hurt.
Well, and the other thing, Jason, is you brought up Anthony Davis. I just double-checked the Wizards, their box score from, what was it, last night. Trae Young played 2 games for fun, and I guess so they wouldn't get fined and then just went away. I don't even know what he has. He just played 2 games and went away. So
he's got some injury, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I missed the days of Popovich ruling guys out for being old. At least it was funny.
Yes. Yeah.
But even the players know, hey, if you have back spasms, how do you prove my knee isn't sore?
Right. Yep. The soreness.
Yeah. And now you got Giannis beefing with his team because his team needs to be tanking probably. And he's like, I want to play.
Right. Right. As we talk about the tanking and all the issues, I completely forgot about the Chauncey Billups thing that started out the season. You bring that up, Jason, as well as what's going on with the Clippers. And now we're seeing these conversations about how Major League Baseball, who has their own set of issues that they're going to have to deal with at the end of the season and try to avoid a lockout. Now we're seeing all these think pieces and all these numbers that are saying, Major League Baseball is catching the NBA. Do you think that is legitimate, or do you think it's a bit overblown because everybody is bagging on the NBA right now?
I think it's a bit overblown it all depends on where you are. Mm-hmm. If you're in LA or New York, yeah. But if you're in Pittsburgh,
yeah.
I mean, you might just be waiting for football season.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, they might be doing that in San Francisco now. I mean, I don't know, but
that's a Dodger fan talking, Alan.
Oh, come on now. We're not doing that. Not yet.
Hey, I'm just saying, congratulations on finally scoring some runs. Proud of you guys.
And we got you in 2 weeks, Dodgers Giants. So we waiting.
That'll be their World Series because my team will be playing in October, and yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
By the way, Jason, I looked up that box score, the last game of the season, 2016. Houston 116, Sacramento 81. Seth Curry, 40 minutes. He was 3 of 18. Ben McLemore was 10 of 20. James Anderson played 37 minutes. Costa Koufos played 33 minutes. Willie Cauley-Stein played 31 minutes. Quincy Acee played about 30 minutes. Eric Moreland, as you said, he got hurt, played 4.5 minutes. and I don't remember this guy. Duye Dukan? I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, that was the guy from Wisconsin, and I believe his dad had played with Vlade internationally, and that was his connection. Yeah, and that irritated some guys on the team because at that point the roster is only 12. You don't have 15 in all the two ways, and they're like, we suck, and we need to be getting actual NBA players on the team. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that was a hell of a game. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking here at his page, Duye Dukin, and his total basketball reference consists of that one game. That's the only NBA game he ever played. That was it.
That sounds about right. Yeah, but I mean, there was also the time when the Kings had some injuries, and remember Ray McCallum?
Yeah.
And he was their only point guard, and he was playing 48 minutes every night.
Yep.
I remember a coach pulling me aside. He said, I normally would never do this, but could you please write more about the fact that I only have one point guard and I'm playing him 48 minutes?
But Jason, you know what's so funny about that? And I get it because it's supposed to be such a historic draft, but this tanking thing, you look at the top, and we, Whitey and I, our most viewed on our computers, our most viewed site is Tankathon. But if you actually look at it, you got Washington, Indiana, Brooklyn, Utah, Sacramento. You can throw Memphis in there, but Memphis just isn't very good. And Dallas, Kyrie, they decided to not let Kyrie play, and then they end up moving Anthony Davis. But, I mean, don't you think maybe it's a bit overblown? You're going back to 2016. There's always been tanking. It just feels like the NBA, because they struggle a little bit with this regular season thing. All right, well, we got to talk about something. The playoff races aren't ridiculous this season. I don't know. It just feels like a theme that didn't need to be this necessary because there's always been tanking, number one. And number two, this draft is supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah, I just don't. I think, I mean, it's like they had the press conference All-Star weekend. It was almost like they had planned the questions because you get a tanking question. Like, no one's going to ask what's going on with Chauncey Billups.
Right. Yeah.
There's going to be bad teams no matter what. Like the teams you just listed, I don't think any amount of fines was going to make Sacramento a 50-win team or make Indiana without Tyrese Halliburton some great. There was nothing. Yeah, they're going to be bad no matter what. I'd rather see this gambling thing addressed. I'd rather see whether or not the Clippers are circumventing the salary cap. To me, those are way more important to the integrity of the game than whether or not the Brooklyn Nets, who we knew were going to be bad from day one, are a bad team. I really don't care that much. I mean, I get it. To me, it almost feels like this is like almost social media driven. Like, you get enough people complaining, now it's a problem. I'm like, it's not like you've got, 15 teams not trying to win games. There's a few teams, and people forget, tanking happens with playoff teams. We've seen teams lose for a better playoff matchup.
Yeah,
right.
So it happens, and I don't know. I mean, all these rules about you can only get one of the ideas. You can only get a pick in the top 5 every other. Man, who cares? I mean, a lot of these teams are going to be bad because they're run poorly. It doesn't matter where they pick. There's teams you can give them, and sometimes you might get the number 1 pick in the Anthony Bennett year. Or where it's just like, well, oh well. So to me, it's I get the public perception around it, but I don't check the standings and really care about tanking. I mean, even the thing last night with Sacramento, I thought it was more funny that the whole. I'm more inclined to believe that a team like Sacramento, which has struggled all year, messed up a play.
Yep, right.
Than Scott Perry and Doug Christie blatantly throwing a game.
Right.
I'm more because when I saw like, what is this? And I'm like, this is weird. And I'm like, what are they doing? And then obviously Draymond gets a hold of it, but I really am more inclined to believe that a team like the Kings that has how many wins?
21.
Failed to execute.
Yeah. It was just
a team with 21 wins failing to execute. I'm shocked.
Yeah. Thank you.
Miscommunication on a team that's losing. I'm shocked.
We appreciate it.
I thought it was more funny than anything. I said, for God's sakes, Miami was fouling to get Bam more points.
Right.
To me, that's more egregious.
We got to let you go. We have a limit on Dodger fans, and we're way past it with you, to be honest with you. Way past it.
That's not nice. That's not nice. I mean, the Dodgers lost the game today, so, I feel bad enough they lost the game.
Oh, man. I can't imagine.
Wow. Yeah.
It's tough out here. It's tough out here in these Dodger streets. I mean, they lost one game on that road trip. It's really devastating to us. I'm gonna need some time to get over that loss today.
We're gonna give you some time.
Yeah, we'll give you some time. Yeah, we'll catch up with you soon, hopefully.
I guess that means I won't see you all summer.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, thank you. I'll take care.
Thanks, Jason.
Jason Jones, formerly of the Bee, currently of the Athletic. When we come back, we need to stop talking about the hybrid rebuild because it would be terrible. And we'll also tell you about the coach in the NBA right now appears to be less popular with his players than any other coach. What's going on there? Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Whoa. Okay, this one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says families saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included. Plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on. Let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh, yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now or?
I'm thinking high-five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
It's no secret, the world feels unpredictable lately. And one thing will never change, Hoblet's mission to nuke high prices. Right now, and only at Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland, you can get 4.99% financing for up to 84 months on all new vehicles in stock, and keep every factory rebate you qualify for when you finance with Hoblet's preferred lender. That's 4.99% financing, and you keep all the factory rebates you qualify for. Not one or the other like the other dealers are offering, and this can't last long, so shop now at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection, and now, unbeatable interest rates. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. 4.99% APR available on select new vehicles in stock while supplies last. Pricing and savings may vary based on model and trim. Financing on approved credit through Hoblet Preferred Lender. For well-qualified buyers, $60,000 max finance, approximately $14.14 per thousand borrowed. Residency restrictions and lender membership requirements may apply. See dealer for details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Looks like the least popular coach in the NBA right now with his players. And I think Jason Jones alluded to this. Doc Rivers.
Yep.
I think is on his way to the Hall of Fame. But, things haven't gone very well for the Bucks and for Doc Rivers since he joined them. On March 2nd, during a back-to-back matchup against the Celtics, Doc Rivers called, according to Shams, for a team meeting on the day of the game. And in that meeting, he implored his team. He said, "Look at my resume and Google me. I took teams to the playoffs and championships that weren't supposed to be there. I thought this was one of them." And according to an insider, the message was not well received internally. It's just another example of the disconnect between player and coach. And it looks like 6 people in the room went to Shams and told him about this. That's how unpopular it was. You had 6 people in that meeting that went to Shams and says, "You won't believe what this guy is saying."
Doc to me has always been allergic to accountability. That's how it's been forever with young Doc.
587 regular season win rate.
This is not the first time, though. The one. This is not the first time, though. He's thrown his team under the bus, players under the bus. It's never his fault. Didn't he say something to the effect of something about the Clippers and how they didn't win enough? And he said, well, if you look at what he did, he was just making excuses. And that's fine, all fine and good, but I don't know. Sometimes I struggle with whether or not Doc is truly a leader of men.
The one thing that he said once that really bothered me, and maybe it was in the heat of the battle, but remember when his Sixers lost to the Hawks? And it was a stunning playoff upset. And someone asked, it was, Ben Simmons had one of those weird series like where he was passing the ball instead of shooting.
Right.
Someone asked him, "Can you win with Ben Simmons as your point guard?" And he said, "I don't know." And all he had to say was, "Yeah, sure," and then just figured out. But he's like, "Yeah, I don't know the answer to that."
He kept getting hired. He kept getting hired, though. And he'd probably go, Hall of Fame, like you said, Whitey.
Yeah, I think
championship.
He's on his way, isn't he?
And he should be. That's fine. But we can still all, as Deion Sanders says, everybody in the Hall of Fame, it's not all created equal. And I don't know where Doc fits. And sometimes, Whitey, at this point, Hall of Fame versus public perception, I mean, they're pretty close these days.
Yeah,
and
he'll be inducted as part of the class of 2026.
I don't think Doc has a great public perception, so he can be in the Hall of Fame all he wants, but that matters too. Because I don't know if Doc is put on the same pedestal as other coaches that might only have one championship, but they've handled things in different ways. And Doc has been in a situation where he wants to talk about doing more with less, but there's also been a lot of situations where he's done less with more.
They shouldn't have fired Budenholzer, in my opinion.
It was a weird one. They won their championship, and they kind of Sacramento Kings did a little bit.
Oh.
Well, I would just say they won the championship, and, hey, we're going to be around forever. We're going to be back. And then they moved on from the stuff that helped them win a championship as soon as it wasn't working, a la a 5-game losing streak. That's what it felt like, relatively speaking, of course.
A lot going on with that franchise, and it doesn't surprise me when you look at the ownership group. And one of the members of the ownership group is the guy that owns the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam. So is there any surprise there that, wow, they're kind of dysfunctional in some ways? Maybe I'm putting too much blame on him because they have that weird rotating chairman of the board. plan there.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not all on him, but it's a mess right now with all the Giannis stuff. They haven't handled it well because, this Giannis drama has been dragging on. And all that time, it's just everybody looks bad and the team's playing badly.
You know what's so funny, though? And that's just a reminder as we're headed into this draft. So much of this, and look, you scout somebody and you pick them and you harness what they have and you craft what they have and they continue to build and you develop them, it can cover so many warts. Like, I don't know, and I've said this before. The Warriors, they draft Steph, they draft Clay, they draft Draymond. And those were hits, obviously. Joe Lacob, he's gotten in the way of what the Warriors have tried to do time and time again. But we're never going to talk about him like the Kings because they have those championships because of that hit. Steph Curry, look at the Bucks. I don't think they necessarily handled Giannis correctly. They made a bunch of moves. They got Drew Holiday. They won a championship. But you see who they really are as things kind of start to head in a different direction. And it just reminds me how important these drafts are. And if you get it right, I know LeBron is LeBron, but even when the Cavs had LeBron, you're just one dude away from covering so many other issues and still being at least somewhat relevant. The Timberwolves, they've gone through, the ownership thing and all this stuff, but they hit on Anthony Edwards. Mm-hmm. So they're making deep playoff runs every season. The Nuggets, they've fired their coach. Were they supposed to? I don't know. Now he's in North Carolina with Bill Belichick, but they fired their GM as well. All this stuff, but they have Jokic.
But now he's an exception.
He
to the
is
rule
an exception
because he was a second-round pick.
Yes.
But what I was going to say was those guys, though, it's not just getting the pick right. It's having the chance to get those guys at the top. And to me, what you're saying gets us back to that conversation of shouldn't the Kings be losing some of these games? Because you want the best shot at the best players. Mm-hmm. And those guys that really make that difference, you typically, I know there are exceptions, and Jokic is the brightest example of that. Yeah. Typically, those guys you get right near or at the top.
Yeah. Giannis kind of is in that conversation, still a first rounder.
Yes.
But it covers
and he was
up,
kind of a no one really knew.
Yeah, it covers up so much.
Mm-hmm.
It covers up so much, and we sit there and we think, man, look at what the Bucks did. Man, look at what the Nuggets did. Why can't we have that? All you got to do is find a dude for relevancy. I'm not saying you're going to win a championship, but just for some sort of relevancy. You got to find a way. Hopefully it's this draft, if not next draft. But, as it kind of leads into what you wanted to talk about with the blowing up the hybrid rebuild. Yeah, talking to Jason Jones, you should be hunting and fishing for that dude until you find him.
I will say, in all fairness, Steph is another exception to the rule where he was drafted.
Yeah.
And he transformed the game in some ways.
And I don't know, the exception to the rule as far as not having a quote-unquote dude, as, Kyle Ledbetter was in here with his bootleg Papa shot earlier.
You saying he's the dude?
I'm saying he loves Devin Booker.
Because he came in here with a bandage on his finger and put up 130?
Yeah. I mean, he's literally dunking them. That's what he's doing.
I didn't see that.
No, he's putting up some numbers. Up some numbers. But he loves Devin Booker. And I don't know what Devin Booker is. Is he a top 20 player? I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
And those are the exceptions to the rules. That's honestly, I look at the Suns now, and that's basically probably what the Kings, the best version of the Kings, just being around, but everybody knows you're not going to win anything. And that's not what the Kings want to do. But you're going to end up in that spot if you don't get lucky in the draft. And, we can't cry over spilled milk. They could still get lucky. But these teams, I don't think there's that much of a difference in ownership. It all comes down to your scouting, your drafting, how lucky do you get? And then, of course, do you screw it up? But to kind of tie a bow on it, Whitey, they didn't have a dude in De'Aaron. They did not have that guy in De'Aaron or Domantas Sabonis, so you were still susceptible to blowing it or not being in the mix. The guys that we're naming off, you're going to be relevant even if ownership isn't perfect.
Yeah. By the way, the Ringer has Devin Booker 15th.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said top 20. Yeah, I think he's probably top 20.
Yeah.
But your point still stands.
Right. They're around. but you have to do everything right. And who knows? I mean, what is Devin Booker or is Dillon Brooks going to play like that next season? I don't know. They're still not in a great spot. They don't have their pick, So we hear this Buck stuff, and you wonder, how do they win a championship? You just have to hit big.
Yeah. Well, that was a really good team. It just wasn't at the time built to last necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least they left with something.
Yeah. And I think they underestimated how good Drew Holiday was.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. The Celtics maybe overestimated, and they paid him like that. So maybe one day Drew Holiday
kind of paid off for him.
Yeah, that was after the championship. Here, everybody take some money. We'll figure it out later. We can't pay all y'all,
We're selling the team anyway.
Yeah, here, take it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotta get them.
Yep. So as far as the hybrid rebuild goes, and I know you are not a proponent of it, but I hope that it becomes evident as soon as possible that the Kings do not intend to pursue that. We'll have to wait and see, but it would be a bad idea. Where in some ways you would be wasting what you accomplished this year.
Well, yeah. Look, it all comes down to, and this is what Keith Smith is saying, just get these dudes off the books and don't tempt yourself. I think that's what happened this season. The Kings as an organization, because they weren't able to move off of some of the guys I think they believed they were going to be able to move off of, they ended up tempting themselves all season long. And honestly, Whitey, we'll see after the lottery, but they did a decent job. They could have really leaned into this thing and fought for that 10 seed. And you know it too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
They could have. Mm-hmm. I'm actually kind of proud of the Kings.
Really?
Even though, like, what we're arguing, the Raptors game, that random Clippers game, there's a version of it. There's a dimension out there going Avengers on you. There's a dimension out there where they rally and they fight for that 10 seed.
Wow, Alan is proud of the Kings.
It could have been worse.
I understand. We'll take a closer look at that, and we'll look at what kind of toll tanking can, according to some, take on a team next. And we'll wrap things up on Sactown Sports. Don't go away.
Tomorrow night, Kings and Warriors. Game night with Scott Marsh and the high flyer Henry Turner.
Starts at 5:30 with tip-off at 7. Listen to your Sacramento Kings.
On the official home of Kings basketball, Sactown Sports 1140.
Your Toyota's been through a lot with you. Traffic, rain, potholes, you name it. But it keeps showing up mile after mile. So maybe it's time to give a little back. For a limited time at your local Toyota dealer, get 3 new tires and get the 4th for $1. Because a ride that's always there for you deserves to be taken care of. 3 tires, get the 4th for $1? Go on. Treat your Toyota. Deal ends April 30th. Keep your Toyota a Toyota. Restrictions apply. Toyota and Scion vehicles only. See participating Toyota dealers for details.
Contractors, remodelers, you now have a great supplier to assist you with your next project. Nova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento. They are Northern California's best kitchen and bathroom remodeling supply store. Nova has the latest cabinet styles, a great selection of countertops, flooring, bathroom fixtures, and more. Visit their website, InnovaCabinetStone.com. Take advantage of their grand opening special, a $750 in-store credit. Stop by today, Innova Cabinet and Stone in Sacramento.
Welcome to the Bar None Auction.
Bar None Auction is selling thousands of items this Saturday, April 11th in Sacramento. Large farming and construction equipment, cars, trucks, and industrial supplies, all sold to the highest bidder. Always open to the public. Visit BarNoneAuction.com.
When life calls for a little extra, a kitchen upgrade, paying off debt, or that dream vacation, Valley Strong Credit Union is here to help. With a Valley Strong home equity loan, you can tap into your home's value with competitive rates, flexible terms, and local guidance you can trust. Get approved in as little as 5 minutes, with funding in as few as 5 days. Your goals are within reach. Visit valleystrong.com to get your offer today. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your possibilities. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 456506.
If your business depends on reliable vehicles, it's time to upgrade your fleet at myelkgrovechevrolet.com. We specialize in fleet pricing, bulk discounts, and fast approvals, so your team stays on the road and on the job. From work trucks and vans to fuel-efficient sedans and SUVs, we have the inventory, service, and financing to keep your business moving. Call or visit myelkgrovechevrolet.com today and ask about exclusive fleet savings. myelkgrovechevrolet.com, driving business forward.
Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Alan Stiles on Sactown Sports 1140.
Alan, did you hear what Keith Hernandez from Pacifica, California, New York Mets broadcaster, did you hear what he said about the Giants? I think it was just yesterday or the day before.
I think I saw it. I think I kept scrolling, though.
Yeah, because, of course, the Giants were playing the Mets over the weekend, and somebody asked him about, he's not on all the broadcasts, and he was asked about, did you watch the game?
Right.
And he said, I couldn't watch it. The Giants were too terrible.
It's ridiculous. I mean, we're acting like, I'm telling you, there's something going on here. There's something in the good old boys club. They don't like Tony. And you know what? I like it that way. They don't like Tony. They didn't like the Giants when they won those championships because nobody thought they'd be there.
Here we go.
And that's where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Talking about them championships.
I'm guessing he grew up a Giants fan.
Maybe.
Because he's from Pacifica. I actually saw his first Major League game ever.
Really?
Yes. For the St. Louis Cardinals.
You can forget where you came from.
Yeah, but I understand what he meant because I think he was talking about that Sunday game where they looked terrible. And they've won 2 in a row now, so it's okay. But I just thought that was funny. A former major leaguer. I couldn't watch the game. The Giants were too terrible.
I mean, we're acting like this is Bad News Bears, guys. We're acting like this is Keanu Reeves hardball. Come on. It wasn't that bad. We've seen some bad baseball. They just lost. Maybe he is a fan. Maybe he's a Giants guy.
Yeah, my favorite Keith Hernandez story is what year was that? When they were playing the Astros. 1986, they're playing the Astros in the playoffs, and they would go on to play the Red Sox in that World Series, and it's an incredible World Series. But it's a great series with the Astros, and they have a lead in the last inning in Houston, and they're about to finish up, and Jesse Orozco comes in, and he keeps throwing breaking balls, and whack, 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 whack. And the lead is dwindling. And Keith Hernandez tells a story. He says, I went out there and I said, if you throw another breaking ball, I'm going to punch you in the face.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Wow. Here's what we have for you right now. It's just our way of saying, thanks for being with us. Hold on here. It'll take me a second to bring it up. Drive Guys, Gary Owen at Hard Rock Live. Win a pair of tickets to see Gary Owen at Hard Rock Live on July 19th, 2026. Call in to win. Alan, what number caller are you looking for?
Let's go 5.
Caller 5. Oh, in honor of course, Nick Clifford.
That's right.
Caller number 5 right now, 339-1140. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m., but caller 5 picking up tickets to see Gary Owen at Hard Rock Live. Can tanking take a toll on a young team, Alan? I know we've talked about that a lot.
I think we've been on the same page as far as it being no, but maybe we haven't thought about it enough. And again, depends on who's doing the tanking, right? Is it guys that you care about or, your guy from the Jason Jones interview that played one NBA game? No disrespect.
Yeah, there are some general managers, or at least one general manager in the NBA quoted as saying, "Oh, it can really use some bad words, mess up your some of your young developing players."
I mean, then the Nets are cooked, right? Nets are cooked. It depends. How long have you been in it? Some of these guys, it feels like some of the Nets, and I know they haven't had any top draft picks because of some of the trades they made.
Yeah. Here's a quote from a GM, former GM. Losing leaks into your DNA. I mean, it can really, really F kids up. That's from Slate's article.
Look, they would know better than us. We just need the examples. Show us the examples. Show us a team that you think had the chops, but early losing affected them. Because you know what probably happened? You lost, and then you didn't end up getting a pick that helped. So then you never got that much better because you didn't have your guy.
Yeah, I know it. The debate is pretty much over here for the Kings. They are where they are, obviously, but they can't do much to alter where they end up. Obviously, you could say, well, they should still lose a few more games. But, we were really wondering, why are they winning all these games? And at this point, pretty much what's done is done. But that was one of the debates we had. There were a lot of people that we heard from that said, Kings fans said, you lose these games, you're really damaging your culture with your young players going forward.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Whitey. I don't think it's over. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the Warriors are going to be off a back-to-back. And the Warriors tomorrow night have the Lakers. Now, it's not, you talk about juice, right? They're going to be missing Luka and Austin Reeves, but they should have LeBron. So that always is, and I think I saw it, Steph is probable or questionable. So that always adds a little bit of juice that game. I'm sure it's going to be nationally televised. So I wonder, it's going to be on Prime. And so I wonder that next night they got to go back-to-back. I know it's just down 80 or up 80. Then they play the Kings. The Kings coming off these allegations. Steph might not play. It's a back-to-back. So Steph legitimately might not play. I don't think the Kings are out of the woods yet, Whitey. And I told you this from day one. Keep an eye on it.
So they would probably, then what you're saying is there's a chance they finish 5th. Yeah. I'm just saying, that we know they're going to end up 4th or 5th. You're right. Yeah.
So you're at peace with it.
Sure. At this point.
Because for a while you would not have reacted that way.
I know.
You would have been Draper throwing papers and, come on. I don't want to look at this.
Give me that box score.
Give me that. I don't need it. Let me make a paper airplane with this box score. So I'm just saying, you seem at peace with it now.
Yeah. I think the difference, as we discussed with the high flyer yesterday, is some of these teams that are tanking, just blatantly tanking with young players that aren't very good, they don't care about what that does to those players because those players are not in the Kings' future. Excuse me, they're not in their team's future.
Yeah.
You look at some of these tanking teams, the guys are playing, it's like, oh, but you're going to ruin it. It's going to be tough for them. Yeah, it's fine because we're not really counting on them. Whereas the Kings have more players, maybe not a ton yet, but more players that they plan to build, maybe not around, but with.
That's what I was going to say because I don't think it really mattered because you don't have your guy yet.
Yeah.
And again, it's funny because, and I would love to know what GM said that, because does it affect role players?
Ask your friend Slater.
Yeah.
He'll tell you.
Does it affect role players more than the dude? Because we've already used the Cade Cunningham example. We've used multiple examples where really good players come in. They lose for a couple years, and then they turn it around, and it hasn't affected them. So who does it affect? Because right now the Kings don't have, based on what I'm seeing, the Kings don't have that star player to move forward with. So I don't know how much the losing is that big of a deal for role players.
Yeah, like you said, a former GM would know better than we would. All I know is that the Oklahoma City Thunder tanked for 2 years. They won a championship with some of those guys that were part of that, specifically Shea. And the Detroit Pistons have been tanking for a long time. What was it, like 6 years or more?
Felt like that.
Yeah, and Cade had been part of that for a long time, and they're having a pretty good year. They've won 57 games, so you can't convince me that all that tanking got in the way of their development.
And it's funny because, Adam Silver will hop up there and say, and he said this before the new collective bargaining agreement, but he'll hop up there and say, this is how it's supposed to be done. These guys did it the right way. They built through the draft. But he ignores, just like the saying goes, Mark Jackson ignores the caterpillar, but then wants to praise the butterfly. We know what it is. How did they get those picks, Adam? Tell me more, Adam.
Are you against teams that tank?
No, I'm not. I can't be. In a small market specifically.
It works.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work. You have to do it right, but it can work, and it's your truest path from being like, we're a bad team, especially small market, to being a really good team.
And then they get praised everywhere.
Yeah.
Then they get national games all the time, and they get a
star.
Tanked. Right.
How'd that work out for them?
Pretty good.
They got Wemby.
Pretty good.
So where's all this angst coming from? But these tanking teams is terrible.
They're bored. People are bored. That's what it is. We're almost done, people. The countdown, we need a countdown to Mother's Day. That's what we need.
Yeah.
For the lottery.
All right, Alan, we're back with you tomorrow. Are you going to be able to make it tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, and I want to dig deeper, Whitey, on what I said about being proud of the Sacramento Kings.
Yes. Well, we have that to look forward to. Thank you, Jay. Stick around. You have this to look forward to. More outstanding Westwood One Sports Talk. Coming up next on Sactown Sports.